Olivas going to the corner of the end zone. Nice grab there by Josh Jackson, and that's going to be a touchdown, El Dorado.
Their strong point, their focal point here.
Nelson will keep it himself for some room on the right side. Nelson's on his feet, and he is in. It's a touchdown for Noah Nelson.
Sliding, they slid out of going out there. Linebacker, they're going for the big gutter play. How did he hold on to that, Ethan Olguin? My goodness, a 32-yard bomb. He's going to launch this one long, and it's a little bit short, but what a pull down. Fabian Trujillo, unbelievable, this man.
Dyer, back to pass. Pressure, gets out of it nicely. On the sideline, got an open man. It's Lambrana. Cheeto made one miss. Cuts back up the middle. Another cut to the right, and he's all the way down at the 10-yard line.
Is that Sweet Pete Jr.?
Right?
That's Sweet Pete Jr. right
What
there.
a move there by Cheeto Lambrera.
Second and 1, give it to Gallus. Once again, he evades one tackle, evades two. Breaking into the open, there's a block, bye-bye. And he breaks the last tackle to get through. Jack Gallus with the touchdown.
Happy with his defense so far. Vukovic, and that ball is ripped up. Bernalillo will have this ball at the 1-yard line.
That's the extra yards for Cheeto. Dyer quickly, it's batted into the air, and it is picked off. Rams football as Rio Rancho finally gets the turnover they need as it's tipped into the waiting arms of Vincente Tafoya. Ryan Brown had punched it into the air and allowed Tafoya to come away with it. Let's see if Nelson can make it
right
pay.
back.
No! LaCueva gets it back on another tip drill. It falls into the waiting arms of the senior Luke Ryder.
Kick is up. It will bounce into the arms of Daniel Garcia, and Garcia explodes through the middle. He dodges Castro, and Garcia will run that one back from about the 17-yard line. Call that one an 83-yard touchdown rush.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
We here at Clark's Pet Emporium welcome you to bring in your pets. We know that having your pet with you makes the experience of shopping for them even better. And we welcome you to bring your kids also. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
These days, it's important to know people and businesses you can trust. There's a lot of places where you can buy a vehicle, but there's only a few local dealerships where you'll find honest people who have your best interests in mind. And Fiesta Kia is one of them. We've been helping our neighbors save money and drive dependable cars for years, and we'd love to help you. With new Kias arriving daily, you'll love our selection and the peace of mind you'll get driving a Kia from Fiesta. So stop by and see us today at Fiesta Kia on Lomas, or just start driving now at fiestakia.com.
When you are an NFL team and you get a historical whooping put on you. Well, the defensive coordinator for the Broncos is Vance Joseph. And, I mean, I've heard people say he needs to be fired right away. Quote Vance Joseph, when your unit plays that way, my first thought is, it's me. And doing better as a coach and getting ready for a challenge. When those days happen, it's always, in my opinion, it's me first, and I'll fix it, and quickly. I take it first. It became a buzzsaw, end quote. It's me. JJ, I don't know that it's all a defensive coordinator. When you lose 70-20 in what I watched, now I didn't X and O this thing. I didn't break down the tape. I watched dudes miss tackles. I watched dudes appear to quit. Is it all Vance Joseph? Is it all him? Can he fix it quickly?
He can fix it quickly because they're playing the Chicago Bears.
They get the Bears and the Jets the next 2 weeks.
And not the Miami Dolphins, and one of the best offensives we have seen in the last decade in terms of explosiveness and execution, because that's what you're getting out of Miami. It's not all on Vance Joseph. It's a reality that this defense is nowhere near as good as it was the last few years when people believed the franchise was just a quarterback away. And you had players quitting in the second half. That's like a universal truth with that game, and no one's pushed back on that. There hasn't been some leader of the defense or Sean Payton or Vance Joseph push back on that narrative. People have been saying that
we didn't quit.
Yeah, and they're just like, you gave up 70. It didn't tackle anyone from start to finish, and it's not all on Vance Joseph, but he's the guy that has to do that. Why? Because that's what happens with coaches. First axe to fall is with assistants, then it goes to the head coach, and you move on from there. But it's just a bad defense with a bunch of bad players right now grasping at straws, because this team was supposed to be at least be competitive. Sean Payton's coming in. He's going to fix Russell Wilson. Well, guess what, y'all? It's not all Russell Wilson's fault either. He is fine. Is it what you want? Fine from Russell Wilson? Well, fine should at least make you competitive. And when someone's dropping a 70 burger on you, that is a look in the mirror moment.
Yeah, I always look at these things, and a guy who's had success coaching somewhere else. This is how I look at it. I mean, is it on Vance Joseph a little bit on the defensive coordinator? Well, yeah, dude, you gave up 60. But Vance Joseph has had success as a coordinator in this league, is he not? He's been pretty good, is he not? Like, his track record is good, right?
Yes.
All right, well, then what's the difference? Did Vance Joseph on Sunday last week just forget how to coach? Did last week, did Vance Joseph take naps all week and he didn't scheme for the Miami Dolphins? I agree with you. The Dolphins are good and they may end up being historically good. Like this team may break the overall the scoring record in the history of the National Football. Like they're on pace to blow it away after 3 games. 70 will skew that a bit, right? And I agree with you. It's going to get better this week because they went from playing the best offense in the league right now to probably the two worst coming up. The Jets and the Bears and the Jets.
Yeah, it doesn't get much different than preparing for what Mike McDaniels is doing to then looking at Luke Getsy and Justin Fields.
Right? I mean, I've got Justin Fields coming in who don't know what he's doing, or I'm going there, and then I got Zach Wilson coming in. So it's different. Now, if we're sitting here in a week from now, or 2 weeks from Monday, right, or a week from Monday, and we're having the same conversation about the Jets and or the Bears running through them,
like putting up even just 28 points, 30, like a number like that, then you're just
Look, I don't even care if they put up one more, then we're not having a conversation. But if they lose and they give up 28 points, you're right. But is it on Vance Joseph or is it on these dudes? Did Vance Joseph forget how to coach all of a sudden? Did the game pass him by last week?
The moment we were talking about with Justin Fields earlier this week, coming out and talking about how he's happy about the little things and he just wants to focus. That is right up there with 3 weeks in, you already have a defense that stopped playing. It's one thing to get beat. It's another just outright stop playing 3 weeks into the season. And this is a culture thing. What has Sean Payton done? What has Sean Payton changed
so fair
for the Denver Broncos?
It's so fair. I mean, you're just right. You're just right. He came in with a bravado, and you know what blows my mind? And I hear this way too regularly. I heard it again on a national show yesterday. Well, they've got a Hall of Fame coach and they've got a Hall of Fame quarterback. Do they? Is Sean Payton a Hall of Fame? If you win a Super Bowl, are you a Hall of Famer? Is that the deal? If you're a quarterback and you're a coach and you win a Super Bowl, you're a Hall of Famer? What makes Sean Payton a Hall of Fame coach? Because he won that one Super Bowl?
To me, Sean Payton is much like these quarterbacks that have won a Super Bowl or two, but we've never really thought about them as elite.
People think of Sean Payton as elite.
Yeah. And I'll throw it out, like an Eli Manning conversation. There's numbers, there's good seasons to point at. There's a really good winning percentage with Sean Payton. But I do think it's fair because it happens way too often. We just assume, exactly what you're talking about. Someone's elite or someone's great. Well, Sean Payton has a whole lot of work to do because all we've seen is it's actually been worse than Nathaniel Hackett.
Look, man, they're way worse. Nathaniel Hackett didn't lose 70-20 to anybody. The Raiders aren't any good, and they beat you. I look at this thing, and I just don't understand it. Just because you win a Super Bowl, somehow you're that guy. Somehow, I don't. And what makes Russell Wilson a Hall of Famer? Well, they got a Hall of Fame quarterback and they got a Hall of Fame coach, and so now I'm not convinced of that. All right, when we come back, there is a Hall of Fame quarterback who popped off this week, went off on the current quarterback of his franchise. The quarterback says, "I will prove him wrong." I don't know if he can. He's going to get his chance this week. How do you prove Broadway Joe wrong? There's one way, and I'll tell you how next. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal, your home for Sunday night and Monday night and Thursday night football.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Rosendo Najar here, president of Carpenters Local 1319.
Juan Junior Gonzalez, warden of Local 1319. Some people have a misconception about what a carpenter does.
The carpentry trade entails more than just woodworking or building houses. We are responsible for 85% of a construction job site. Everything from the superintendent on down. We have a great apprenticeship program. The information can be found on our website.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Here at Clark's Pets, we understand your pets. We take meticulous time to find out more about them. Dig deep into their world to understand their needs. We do research for knowledge of each pet. So you can trust Clark's Pets to provide you the best products and service for your pets, because we work hard to understand all of their needs. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
Hi, I'm Steve Stucker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Here at Clark's Pets, we understand your pets. We take meticulous time to find out more about them. Dig deep into their world to understand their needs. We do research for knowledge of each pet. So you can trust Clark's Pets to provide you the best products and service for your pets, because we work hard to understand all of their needs. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors.
Spoke this week, people listened. It's like old E.F. Hutton. You probably don't remember E.F. Hutton, but when E.F. Hutton spoke, people listened. When Broadway Joe spoke, people listened. Joe Namath came out today. Or not this week, not today, this week. He was on, was it WFAN in New York? Is that where he was on the Yes Network? He was with Michael Kay. And he said, I've seen enough of Zach Wilson. Zach Wilson's not the guy. Of course, Zach Wilson is the Jets quarterback. Zach Wilson was the number 2 overall pick out of BYU a year ago. Zach Wilson was bad. They went out and got Aaron Rodgers, and Zach Wilson was able to just go back and be the backup and hang out and learn behind Aaron Rodgers. And all of a sudden, Zach Wilson became a cute, cuddly backup quarterback on Hard Knocks because Aaron Rodgers liked him. It's the opening drive. Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck. Thanks for being with us on a Friday morning. So Zach Wilson says, I will prove Joe wrong. Said we need to make major changes from top to bottom. As an offense, we have to do everything we can to prove him wrong. We're going to get better. I'm working to get better. I know I need to improve. I promise I'm doing everything I can to keep trying to get better. That was his quote. Okay. We had this conversation yesterday. When you yell at someone, when you get mad at someone for not doing something, and they're not capable of doing it, is it worth yelling at him, right? If somebody does something incorrectly, improperly, they're just not doing their job, but they're capable of doing it. You get mad at them. Boss gets mad at you because you're not doing what the boss says to do, or your kid gets mad, or you get mad at your kid because you know your kid can do. If Zach Wilson is incapable, what are you mad at? Who are you mad at? Right?
Well, it's always fair or not. In the NFL, there's two positions, the win-loss record associated with them.
Head coach, quarterback.
And you're going to go after those guys.
Okay.
And even with Zach Wilson coming into the season thinking, as you said, he's just going to hang out, watch Aaron Rodgers do his thing. Maybe he'll get better. Maybe he'll get another shot. Not worried about playing this year. After 4 plays, the entire season falls on him. And I think for everyone from that organization to Jets fans, don't know how to handle the fact that they were talking about playing for a Super Bowl this season to, is Trevor Siemian a better option at quarterback?
And that's where they are right now. If I'm Zach Wilson, I got everybody coming at me, right? Everybody. Probably my own family's coming at me. And I've got the media, I've got the fans, I got my locker room. Do I need the guy who quarterbacked the team 54 years ago crawling up my backside? And how am I supposed to respond? He went on Yes Network. He went on the same network. He's not hiding from it. He feels like, I'll give him this, he feels like he's matured from a year ago, right? He feels like he's stepping up. I just don't know that it's there. And I'll go back to this premise. If can he throw a football? Yeah, he can throw a football. Is he mobile? Yeah, he's relatively mobile. Quarterbacks have to make decisions under pressure, and is that where it is? Is that where it is? Quote again from Zach Wilson. Obviously, Joe was an unbelievable player, but this locker room is very tight-knit, and we're working to get things better. End quote. I don't know, is it? You're starting to hear a whole lot of splintering coming out of that locker room, aren't you?
As it's just, you're devastated even as a player, as much as you want to preach next man up. There's no next man up.
And he's the
when
next
Aaron
man.
Rodgers goes down.
Yeah.
There's no way, as much as we heard, oh, this Jets defense is good, this Jets defense is good, it's not good enough that even below average quarterback play, they're going to survive. Because you got to score some points.
Yeah.
And you're just not seeing that at all. And with the offensive line issues, they're not running the football. Everyone is saying what the Jets should do. Oh, just line up what they did against Buffalo. Same thing. Just Garrett Wilson on the outside, a bunch of tight ends out there outside the offensive line, and hands to Breece Hall and Dalvin Cook. Well, it's easy to scheme for that.
It's coming from everywhere, right? I mean, it's coming from everywhere. Robert Saleh is the head coach trying to keep it together. Robert Saleh's taking it from his team because he's backing this guy. They added Trevor Siemian. They added, whoever you add. But look, Willie Gay is a linebacker, okay? Willie Gay is on the defense. Really good defense. He was asked yesterday about the offense, about Zach Wilson, and he paused, right? Long pause. And his answer was, no, they're going to figure it out, and we're confident in him. His answer was, damn. It's a hard question. I can't lie.
Well, Willie Gay plays for Kansas City.
Okay, right. But he's ripping on him, right? The other Kansas City plays him on Sunday. But he every time you ask, have you ever heard an opposing team rip another team? Oh, they're really good. They're well coached. They run the ball well, right? He said when Rodgers got hurt, they turned into a team in panic mode almost. So this is what this guy's watching on tape, right? This is what Willie Gay's watching on tape and getting ready to play them on Sunday. It's coming from everywhere. So how does there's one way that Zach Wilson proves him wrong. He says, I'm going to prove him wrong. One way, right? It's not talking. He's got to go out and perform against the Chiefs this week and against the Broncos next week. And I think he gets one more week after this if they get buried this week, and they might, right? Sunday Night Football, he's lucky Taylor Swift's in the house because she's going to be a bigger story than he ever is, right? He's lucky.
Yes, it's why people are going to stay with that game. It's why they're going to get ratings. Not because necessarily football fans will be watching the entire time.
Everybody's watching.
But Swifties will be watching. It is why that disastrous Kansas City Chicago Bears game still rated very well last weekend.
What's the spread? Does the spread? Wow. Do you know what it is? What would you guess the spread? Chiefs Jets Sunday night.
12.5.
It's only 8.5.
8.5.
Why do you think that's so thin?
Too much trust in that Jets defense.
Yeah, but that Jets defense gave. I don't see it at all. I don't see it at all. Do you think it's the Jets are handling this wrong? And I'm going to tell you what I think, because Robert Saleh's in a bad spot that's going to cost him his job. I think there's nowhere for him to go. He's got no other quarterback. What do you think is going to happen when they put Trevor Siemian out there? People are going to realize, Trevor Siemian's no good either, right?
Yeah.
All right, and or whether it's Todd Boyle. Isn't Todd Boyle their backup right now? Tim? Todd? Who is Tim?
I think that there's probably plenty of people walking around calling him Todd.
Tim.
It's like, okay.
Boyle guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, put the Boyle guy in. Right?
Yeah.
And it doesn't, but Boyle, broil, whatever. Right? Nobody knows. But the most popular guy ever in a team is a backup quarterback on a team that's bad. Always. The most popular guy is a backup quarterback on a team that's bad. And so they're going to insert that guy, and they're going to realize, oh, damn, it's no better. We are still the Jets. We are still where we are. We are still really not very good. It doesn't matter, because this is on Joe Douglas, the general manager, and Robert Saleh. They put all their eggs in that one basket. And when that basket crumbled and the bottom fell out of it, that was Aaron Rodgers, the eggs smashed on the ground, and they're just sitting there scrambled. There's nowhere to go. When Jimmy Garoppolo got injured, and this is where you got to give the Niners a little credit. Now, they got lucky as hell. They went to Brock Purdy, and Brock Purdy figured it out. Well, Jeff, did they plan on that? No, I mean, look, Brock Purdy was the last guy, but last pick in the draft. It happened to the Rams last year, didn't it? Matthew Stafford went down. They became horrible, right?
Yep, they did.
The only one I'm thinking of, I mean, you go to the Super Bowl when Carson Wentz went down and Foles won it, and when Cooper Rush won 4 out of the 5 games he started last year. That's how hard it is to find a backup quarterback in the National Football League. When your quarterback goes down, you are in trouble. Meanwhile, Luke Getsy tells the Chicago Sun-Times, Luke Getsy is the offensive coordinator of the Bears, who the Broncos play this weekend, we're fine. Tell you how fine they are and why they think they're fine when they play the Broncos. That's coming up next. We took the Broncos side of it, why the Bears think they are going to figure this out. Hey, maybe you think your neighborhood is safe from crime, that a break-in happens too close to home. Aaron Jones started International Protective Service, IPS, back in 2006, watching homes up in Fort Hills, and now IPS protects hundreds of homes and businesses throughout the greater Albuquerque area. If you can't watch your home or business 24/7, let IPS be another set of eyes for you. They provide standing guards or 24-hour patrols with highly trained armed officers, and they respond quickly to your alarm. It's another layer of security, and it gives you peace of mind. It's worked for me for years, and I think it'll work for you. Call them to see what they can do for you at 505-897-2420. 505-897-2420. You can visit them online at ipsglobal.com. IPS is passionate to make Albuquerque a better and a safer place to live and work.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Hi, I'm Steve Stunker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff. One scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough. Back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot. It's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We're not that kind of station. Creeper.
I tell you every week, the other guys are good too, right? They have coaches, they have video. You always get lost in your team. You're a Bronco fan. We gave up 7. Well, yeah, they scored 7. How can we lose to the Bears? Global fan. Well, I mean, how can we lose? They're on scholarship. They got video too. Bronco fan, as much as you think your team's getting better, or at least your team tells you you're getting better, and Vance Joseph says they're getting better after giving up 70. The team you're playing this week also says we're close after, would they get beat? 41-10 or whatever, and wasn't even that close?
That was 41-10.
They're going to play the Bears. The Bears have been brutal, gruesome, horrible, disappointing, distressing, uncomfortable to watch. Their offensive coordinator is Luke Getsy. He says, quote, I think we're in the process of building something special. We're in the phase of it. It's week 3 going to week 4, and we're going to find a way to attack Denver in a completely different way than we did Kansas City. It's a 17-week process. It's not a 3-week process, end quote. Well, that's fine. And by week 17, if you're moving, that's great. But if you're 3-13 by that point, it doesn't matter, right? Week 3, week 4 matter as much as week 17 matters in the National Football League. Do you buy that they're in a process right now? What shows you? Because I don't. Nothing that I've seen shows me that that process is working. Nothing that you've heard out of there. They are the most, as bad as Denver's been, the dysfunction coming out of not just their mouths, but their play has been everything, the antithesis of we're in the process of building something special.
And the reason you look at Chicago and you have a certain feeling, because we were expecting a jump. And Justin Fields, you saw, all right, he was an awesome athlete last year. Now they invested in skill position players around him. You have an offseason to continue to develop, and nothing looks good. Nothing has worked. And so you have a team that thought was actually going to be able to compete in division. A lot of people are looking at Justin Fields and saying, hey, if you need a dark horse MVP, here you go. And he has looked like the second worst quarterback in the NFL behind Zach Wilson. I think the challenge is, how do you send a positive message without being ridiculous? And I think some of these coaches,
so that's a really good one,
are being ridiculous. When you say we're building something special, this is, you just got to go out there and keep it Coach Speak 101. Don't give them anything, because even when you try to be positive like this, you're going to get clowned on for people saying, special, what's special?
Well, what if you, that's a really good point. If you came out and said, we really believe what we're doing, we believe we're on the path, and by the time we're done, it's going to be special. Or should you just not say it when you look as bad as you look? Is that just not a word that you should use? We're on path. We know what we're doing. We've seen good signs. And you're like, well, coach, what are those signs? I mean, you were horrible. Your quarterback has come out and said it's about the coaching and it's about you. And he looks lost, you look lost, your team looks lost. Oh, and by the way, you're getting smoked every week. Like, I don't even know what you say, right? They lost 38-20, so they've scored 47 points in 3 games. They gave up 41 last week. They haven't been closer than 10 to Tampa Bay. The 10 points they scored last week was a late touchdown that was 100% meaningless. It was over. They're not moving the ball. They got a quarterback who looks lost. Is Justin Fields, you said yesterday, and I thought about this a lot. When you ask about a quarterback, you got to ask about a situation. You got to, you can't just say, okay, if Justin Fields is with the Niners, are we having a different conversation about Justin Fields? Or is he's not as good as we thought? Right? I've thought about this so much after what you said yesterday. Right? If I put Justin Fields on, I mean, I don't know how many other places I think he works, right? But okay, give me the Niners. I mean, feels like Miami maybe.
Well, I think Miami looks different because I don't.
Yes.
Yeah, there's the anticipation, the throwing that you get from Tua that you're not getting from Justin Fields. But when I made that comment yesterday about sometimes, it's easy to say, oh, I'm taking quarterback X.
Yep.
The Justin Fields, is he just Trey Lance? So that's would be a way to think about that.
Okay.
Trey Lance in that San Francisco offense obviously didn't work, but Brock Purdy is working. I would trust Kyle Shanahan a little bit more because I think Justin Fields has shown a lot more in the NFL than some of these other guys that we
Then
just
who?
really can't play.
Then who?
Then the Trey Lance. Then
But he's got way
Zach
more
Wilson.
opportunities.
Yeah.
There's been times where Justin Fields has looked like Trey Lance, and he's played now
a ton of games,
right? And,
Yeah.
and Trey Lance played
There's
like
no more,
5.
There's no more excuses for Justin Fields.
There's a rhetoric out there on Trey Lance and on Justin Fields, and I'm not bought into it yet, but I'm being swayed that he's a running back that's playing quarterback. That he's a great athlete, that he's a terrific runner, but he can't play quarterback. And I don't know what the sample size needs to be to make a decision on that, but I'm being swayed. I was swayed the other day because I listened to it. Now, I never bought him, right? DC was big on Justin Fields, and a lot of people were. There were a lot of people who were selling Justin Fields this year. This was the year they got him DJ Moore, and they went out and they have Claypool, and they've got Kmet, and they've got these weapons, and they brought in. Okay. A 3-game sample size is way too little, but he's got all of last year, right? Is this his third year or second year?
It's his third year.
Right? The progress has got to be better. And while I'm not totally on the dump him yet, and maybe this is Bears fans has never had one, and so they saw a glimpse, they saw this wonderful athlete, and they are so desperate to finally have that quarterback that they've never had. I mean, Jim McMahon kind of, but not even. That this is it. We finally found him. And there's a real possibility he isn't it. And I'm going to tell you something. If they get smoked on Sunday, which they may, and then the Broncos do them, I'm sorry, the Broncos do them this week, and then they go, because the Broncos get Zach Wilson the next week. And then the Commanders do them on national TV the following week because you get them on Thursday night the next week. So I got to watch the Bears and the Jets. What is national TV?
This is one of those situations where there's so many stories like this.
Yeah.
I think that there's more there with Justin Fields
than what
we're seeing. But it's also, there's just a lot of teams that don't get it right with young quarterbacks. And it's a combination. It's the quarterback not playing well, and then they waited too long. I don't know what Chicago was doing. For 2 years, they weren't focusing on Justin Fields.
They were worried about getting draft picks and building around him and just throwing him out there and not developing him.
And I keep looking back and saying, what was the plan? They just let Justin Fields be a running back all last season. And that's nice, but what were you working on in that time? What were you saying, hey, this is where we have to get better? All that focus was coming into this season, and Justin Fields, yeah, he put everyone on blast, but we got a robot at the quarterback position and not a guy that is flowing.
But then I look at what's going on in Houston. And again, it's a 3-game sample size, so I want to go overboard. I love what I see out of C.J. Stroud. So you talk about a young quarterback. How did Brock Purdy, who still, by the way, is LeVar Ball. He's never lost. Brock Purdy has never lost as starting quarterback in a regular season game, except for the playoff game where he got hurt. He's never lost still. I almost need to look this up. I don't know why this isn't some. What do you think is the best? The longest undefeated mark for a quarterback to start his career. You know what I mean? The longest winning streak for a quarterback. We got to be coming up on it, don't we? Yeah. Find that during the break. When we come back, got benched. Why did I get benched? I've been playing well. Why did I get benched, says the NFL player. Coach says, I'll tell you. That's when we get back. We're going to talk some Ryder Cup as well. I'll update you as you're just waking up on the results and what it means historically, what happened over in Italy overnight. You got Balloon Fiesta people coming in. You've got the holidays coming up. You're good. It's October on Sunday? It's now the fall. It's busy, busy time. You're spending a lot of time in your vehicle. Make it enjoyable and get your vehicle detailed. Call On the Spot Automotive Detailing. They'll come to you and they'll detail your vehicle. They do it for you where it's convenient for you and when it's convenient for you. And if you hear people say, so what does that even mean? Well, it means what I said. They come to you. So while you're at the office or while you're at the house, they're outside, you're working, and so are they. They're detailing your vehicle, and that means they're making it look and feel and smell like the day you took it off the lot, right? Under the hood, around the rims, tires, under the seats, everywhere that you can't get. And then you go outside, and your vehicle looks and feels and smells like it's brand new, like the day you took it off the lot, when it was fun to get in. It's a great gift because people love this gift when you give it to them. Give them a call. There's a 10% discount for our military and teachers. Book at 505-859-2859. 505-859-2859 or online at otsdetailing.com. That's otsdetailing.com.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Hi, I'm Steve Stunker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit hanswhitlerauto.com.
Your surprisingly great rates? Contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
He was a starting defensive back, cornerback, LA Chargers. Went to work last week, found out he was inactive, wasn't playing on Sunday. What did I do? It's the opening drive, Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buck. Probably you've gone to the boss before and said, wait, what did I do? Why am I getting disciplined? Well, that's what he said. He was inactive for the Chargers win over the Vikings. Quote from their starting cornerback, JJ, I don't know what else they expect me to do. I've told Coach, what else do you expect me to do? I've been doing everything. I came back from my injury pretty fast. I've been putting in extra work after practice. Even in meeting rooms, the DBs, every Friday, we all meet, do extra film, being a good teammate. So I don't know what it is. I'm still kind of confused, and I still don't have answers. So why I'm getting treated like this. I don't know if he's playing this weekend, by the way, end quote. I don't know why he's getting, if he's playing this weekend. Well, I mean, there's a couple of reasons, right? Take a look at the film, take a look at the game, take a look at the end of games.
Yeah.
And J.C. Jackson's a guy that cornerbacks in some respects are like referees, although not totally. If you hear their name a lot, it might not be a good thing.
Sometimes you're just in a bad spot. And that was J.C. Jackson. And we saw it. And he's right. He came back from injury.
Yep.
He's probably doing everything that they are asking him to do in terms of practice, being ready to go. And you've just been bad, man. Sometimes it happens.
Sometimes
what did I do? You're just not good enough.
If you're not the quarterback.
Pass interference, getting burned.
Yeah.
Like when we're talking about a player, as you said, like after that Miami game.
Yeah. And look,
Chargers didn't get blowed out the built by Miami.
No, in
they
fact,
could
they
have won that game. They
Yeah.
could have won that game.
That's right.
But when we're talking about J.C. Jackson, just a bad pass interference penalty giving the Miami Dolphins a field goal before halftime. Now, you can't get too mad at him for not being able to cover Tyreek Hill because who can? No one in this league right now. And it's multiple weeks. Sometimes the coaching staff has to sit you down. See if they can get you right.
That's what happened, man. When you're hearing a cornerback's name, and if he's not making a bunch of interceptions, which J.C. Jackson is not, if you hear a cornerback's name a lot, it's probably not good. Like you called Zach Morris's name a few times last week in the Lobo game, right? When you called the Lobo game.
Yes,
Zach Morris, wearing number 2 for the Lobos, got beat on a deep ball, right? He got beat. If you're hearing a cornerback's name, it's not very good. All right, then on the other side of the spectrum, you had a game last night. You probably watched it, 34-20. Maybe you tuned out at halftime because it was gruesome at halftime. It was the Lions beating the snot out of the Packers in Green Bay. Packers got booed off the field by their home fans at halftime. I think this is more about what the Lions are than what the Packers might be. The Packers are about what you expected. They're fine. They got a quarterback who's going to figure it out. They're okay. The Lions you expected to be good. Jared Goff is their quarterback. He threw for 200 and something yards yesterday. He was good. David Montgomery carried the load. But they weren't like ecstatic after winning that game. Because as Jared Goff said, quote, it's what we expect to do, end quote. This is a Lions franchise that has never expected to do much, or at least been expected to do much. Maybe inside the locker rooms they've been expected to do much. They've got confidence. Goff said, send us anywhere. We'll be ready. That's the way we're built. And that was the one that got me. That's the way we're built. And I started thinking back to last season's, and again, Hard Knocks is theater, but I think there's a little something in it, right? You feel like
There's
you learn a little bit.
A lot of something.
Right? So we fell in love with Dan Campbell last year watching Hard Knocks. And Dan Campbell, when he came into the league, was a joke. We're going to bite kneecaps and all that. And, dude, you're the coach of the Detroit Lions. And then he turned them last year into one of the scarier teams at the end of the season. They didn't make the playoffs because of what they did early in the season. See, Coach Getsy of the Bears, they all count early. The week 3 counts as much as week 17. So it doesn't matter if you're running at the end of the season like the Lions were, right? You're building something great. It's a process, whatever. It matters really. But we bought in. And so you expected this. And I'm going to give Dan Campbell a ton of credit. I want you to think back to the trade that Matthew Stafford went to the Rams and won the Super Bowl. And it was all about Matthew Stafford going, and it was Sean McVay, the head coach of the Rams, basically giving up on Jared Goff, the number 1 overall pick out of Cal. The Rams gave him a big, giant check when they went to the Super Bowl and didn't win. They got back 2 years later without him. But they paid him, right? They dumped that salary on the Lions. They gave the Lions their number 1 pick this last year, which I believe became Jamar Gibbs, right? If I'm not mistaken. Or was that the high pick? It was number 12, right?
That was Gibbs.
Yeah. Jared Goff was a throw-in. He was a stopgap quarterback. He was, as you went through this point a year ago, the Lions have Jared Goff, but they'll draft somebody. Jared Goff is probably, I don't even think probably, top 10. And if you say what quarterbacks do you trust right now, he might be top 7 or 8 quarterbacks in the league. What Dan Campbell and that offensive staff have done with Jared Goff, I think, is tremendous. And you talked a little earlier about how coaches handle quarterbacks, and you specifically were talking about the Justin Fields situation. I don't think the Lions get nearly enough credit for not just salvaging Jared Goff, but making him better. He's better now than he ever was with the Rams.
I think what's fascinating about Jared Goff is he's out of a system and he's still showing you he's something. We haven't seen this from Jimmy Garoppolo. Now, I know it's early, but in Vegas.
Yep.
So maybe he can come back, but it was just, he's Super Bowl quarterback, just system. Now they need to get someone at their higher ceiling. Well, Matthew Stafford goes there and wins the Super Bowl. So it was easy to point and say, see, I told you, it was the quarterback. Well, Jared Goff has been at the front of the turnaround for the Detroit Lions, because what were they really good at last year? Offense. They could score points. They could move the football. And he gave them identity. He gave them life. And then all of a sudden this season, you see they continue to build that defense. And that is why that is a dangerous team in the NFC.
Do you credit Dan Campbell and that staff?
Yes. Because Dan Campbell's the classic set the tone, get out of the way coach. Like, he trusts his offensive and defensive coordinators. He's got good people in that position. He knows how to manage a game well. There's not a lot of bad decision making when you watch the Detroit Lions, of questionable calls, not knowing the clock, bad times to go for it, because you got to be aggressive in football. You can't always just punt. You got to take some risks, and we've seen that from the Lions. What did they do in the Week 1 opener? Remember that fake punt in their own territory? Like, those are crazy things. But when it works, it just shows, hey, this team believes, and they believe in Dan Campbell.
But that's what great leaders do, right? They hire really good people around them and let them do their jobs.
And this is
they get out of the way.
Too, if you're a general manager, you're an owner, because I don't think Dan Campbell was ever one of those hot names as an assistant coach. But it's what do you envision? What do you trust? You know, Dan Campbell wasn't the next boy genius offensive coordinator, or Dan Campbell was never leading, like the Legion of Boom defense out there. But they saw something, and they believed that, all right, this is a football guy that's going to get people to follow, that has a vision, and let's see where it goes.
Well, I look at some of the great coaches, right? What did Belichick do for years? Who gets credit for the offense? Josh McDaniels, right? Matt Patricia, amongst his other defensive coordinators, got credit for the defense, right? He got out of the way and let people coach. Now, he's considered a genius, and he made the big decisions, but he let people do their jobs. And it's what Dan Campbell's doing. I give them so much credit. And look, they're 3-1. And if you said to me, who's the third best team in the NFC, right? It's easy 1-2. Everybody's telling me San Francisco, Philadelphia. I think everybody's right when they say San Francisco, Philadelphia. Who's the third best team in the NFC? It was Dallas was in that mix until they got run out of Arizona last week. And they still probably are. Is Detroit got to be in that conversation?
They have to be in that conversation.
Yes. You can tell me, we'll sit here Monday and you may tell me Dallas because they beat up on New England maybe. You may tell me Seattle. You got a clear-cut 1 and 2. But what they're doing in Detroit, and after winning yesterday and the way they won, and they got pushed back on, and they came back and ran it right down their throats. It got to be a one-score game. What'd they do? Control the ball, ran it down Green Bay's neck, and put it out of reach. 505-246-0610. Come on in, play radio with us. When we get back here on The Sports Animal, this young man looks like the best quarterback in last year's draft, the best rookie quarterback. He says, why not us? And you know what? He's right. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal, your home for Sunday night and Monday night and last night football.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
I was born in New Mexico. I grew up on these streets. I got in trouble here, and I fought my way back in Murcia. I love New Mexico, especially the people. Now I'm using my training, tenacity, and energy to fight for you. I'm Adam Oki, lawyer, fighter, and New Mexican. I was a local athlete here in New Mexico, so I'm proud to support your local athletes.
Rosendo Najar here, president of Carpenters Local 1319.
Juan Junior Gonzalez, warden of Local 1319. Some people have a misconception about what a carpenter does.
The carpentry trade entails more than just woodworking or building houses. We are responsible for 85% of a construction job site. Everything from the superintendent on down. We have a great apprenticeship program. Information can be found on our website.
Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit HansWhitlerAuto.com.
Now, voted the best sports show in New Mexico for 5 years running. It's the OD in the AM with 3-time New Mexico Sportscaster of the Year, Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck.
Well, good morning to you and a Merry Friday. Final Friday of September. When we reconvene on Monday, JJ Buck will be in the final quarter of the year. It will be October. You got a big weekend coming up of football, college football on Saturday. Big stuff. Lobos will be at Wyoming. You can listen to the game over on News Radio KKOB. 1 o'clock pregame show from Laradice. 2 o'clock kickoff. Mountain West Conference play opens up. JJ and Nedward Abraham James will have the pregame show. Robert Portnoy and Dontrell Moore will have the action from War Memorial Stadium. You ever been to War Memorial Stadium? You've been next to it, right?
Been next to it. I haven't been in it for a year.
You've been in the AA, the Arena Auditorium,
the Dome of Doom.
The Dome of Doom. They've done a nice job, facility upgrades up there, and the Lobos are getting a big break, dude. I mean, it's like going to be mid-70s. I guess a little cloudy, but when you go up to Laramie in September, it's a different Laramie than it is when you go in late October.
I have never been in Laramie where snow hasn't been on the ground.
Is that right? Let me tell you my first adventure to Laramie. So it was either 06 or 07. My first, as a bowl guy, I went up there, and in fact, New Mexico was playing Wyoming, and I got up to see Wyoming on a bowl visit, and it was beautiful, like upper 50s, and I was wearing a quarter zip or some light pullover. And Debbie Long, Rocky Long's wife, I saw her on the field. Said, "That's all you wore to Laramie?" And I'm like, "Yeah,
of course,
it's perfect.
Beautiful day."
Actually, I'm kind of warm." And she's like, "Huh, you just wait." And it was that game, and Lobo fan remembers this one. It was where there was that hour and 20-something minute lightning delay. So it started storming and there was lightning with about 2 minutes to go in the first half. And so they took that long break and they called that halftime, came back, Lobos scored. Lobos were losing at that break. Lobos scored. They took like a 2-minute halftime. Lobos took the offense, the next kickoff to start second half, went down, won the game. And I was driving back and it was snowing sideways. And it got nasty. And everybody's like, "Yep, Laramie, that's what it is." It's they got a big break on this one. You had football last night, 34-20 right here on the Sports Animal. The Lions were winners over the Packers. David Montgomery came back from missing a game last week. The Lions running back carried the ball 32 times, 121 yards, 3 touchdowns. He got the last one. It was a break. The Packers were called. It was a field goal. They went to commercial. Came back and the Lions were on the field. They're like, "Wait a minute, what just happened?" Well, you're not allowed to jump over the pack. It was a personal foul, or is that what it is?
Yeah, they don't like the Troy Polamalu play.
And so, and how do you not know that? Packers were guilty of that, and they put the game away. And Montgomery scored another one and jammed it down my neck, and that's how that works. Jordan Love was 23 of 36, a touchdown, 2 interceptions. Aaron Jones carried the ball 5 times for 18 yards. Look, I'm not going to sit here and bemoan numbers, but I am, because they will not win if they only attempt 10 rushing tries with their running backs. Now, they only ran 48 plays overall. Okay? 48 plays. Let me contrast you. What does that mean, Jeff? Put the numbers in context. Okay, the Packers had 48 total offensive plays. They threw the ball 36 times. They ran it twice. I'm sorry, 12 times, 2 with Jordan Love. So 48. The Lions had 43 rushing attempts. Does that show you the domination last night? The score doesn't show it as much, 34-20. So the Lions ran 81 plays to the 48 plays of the Packers. Well, who's going to win the football game? Almost so. And your time of possession is overrated because you can strike from far. But that was domination. When they ran the ball 43 times for 211 yards, I'm not going to overwhelm you with numbers, but they almost ran the ball for as many total yards as Green Bay had.
Yeah, the difference for the Detroit Lions season is their defensive front seven. Hutchinson, defensive end, had a career-high quarterback pressures. They're stopping the run. Offensively, they're going to move the football. They're going to score points. Locking in David Montgomery as RB1. Jahmyr Gibbs getting his touches. St. Brown, Laporta. That's 2 years in a row where the Lions are hitting home runs.
On drafting? Well, let's go over on
drafting.
Yeah.
On play design, on concepts.
Look.
What is it? OC Ben Johnson? That dude is going to get a lot of interviews out this season.
They found something in Amon-Ra St. Brown that I don't know that anybody saw coming out of SC.
Fourth round pick.
Yeah. Coming out of SC, fourth round, and now he is a second tier, right? He's not Tyreek Hill, Devontae Adams, but he's that next tier wide receiver. They hit on Aiden Hutchinson in the first round. He fell to them at number 3 a year ago out of Michigan. That has become a first tier pass rusher. Okay. They hit on Jahmyr Gibbs. It seems after 4 games that everybody laughed at them. What are you doing? That's not what you need at number 12. And they went out and it looks like they hit on that. They found Sam Laporta, right? And tight ends, catching tight ends, and they go to Iowa, but to find him in the second round, and I think people kind of said, what are you reaching for that for? Well, they traded TJ Hawkinson, right? And they found
traded a really good tight end.
No, they again, a second-tier tight end.
To a division rival.
And that guy got paid. But Jared Goff has always loved the tight end. They find this guy, which feels like, I know we're talking the next guy I'm going to tell you about probably is offensive rookie of the year after 3 games, but can we put this guy's name in there? Sam Laporta is offensive rookie of the year in the pool.
Yeah, you can put his toes in the water.
I mean, people are going to go Bijan or one of the quarterbacks. It's never a tight end, but Sam, you're 100% right. They have just hit on draft pick after draft pick.
There's certain universities that always produce
certain positions.
Yeah. Like you just cannot go wrong. And if you need a tight end, you draft one from Iowa.
Go to Iowa. So it used to be if you need a quarterback, don't go to Ohio State. This Ohio State quarterback is playing pretty well. And he says, why not us? After 3 games, we got 3 rookie quarterbacks playing. Anthony Richardson, who missed last week with a concussion. Bryce Young, who missed last week with an injury. And C.J. Stroud out of Ohio State. The Texans quarterback, after they went in and beat Jacksonville last week, says, why not us? I love C.J. Stroud, the way he's playing, and I love his attitude. Quote from C.J. Stroud. We're men. You know what I'm saying? We aren't laying around or laying down for anyone. And I respect everybody. Like, if you made it to the NFL, that's respect. And to play against a franchise that comes from winning, Mike Tomlin hasn't had a losing season, which I have a ton of respect for that guy. End quote. They're playing Pittsburgh this week. They're 2.5-point dogs. Eye test tells me he's the best of the rookie quarterbacks after 3 games. I'm not going to, again, after 3 games.
Putting up record
sample.
numbers.
Yeah.
Passing yards, not turning the football over. He's been fantastic.
So I look at the young quarterbacks, right? I look at, and I got to put Jordan Love in there. It's his first year as starting. But these 3 rookies, and then I think you got to throw Fields in there because it's a big year for him. And Love. And am I missing anybody right now? I mean, as far as this young breed, Tua is advanced out of that, right?
Yes.
Am I missing somebody?
Well out of that.
Did you put Trevor Lawrence in that, or is he beyond
Kenny
that?
Pickett.
All right, I'll throw Kenny Pickett in that. So 6 of them.
Just kind of looking to see what the baseline's going to be.
And throw Sam Howell in there. Fine. Throw Sam Howell in
Yeah.
there. All right, so those 7. Bryce Young after 3 weeks. I guess you got to throw Brock Purdy in there too. So Brock Purdy's number 1 because he hadn't lost. But out of those 8, it's Purdy, and then to me, after just the eye test, is it not C.J. Stroud?
He's been really good.
Terrific. Adolph, good morning. You're on the Sports Animal. Hi, Adolph.
Hey. Yeah, Jeff, you're correct in your assessment that Justin Fields may be a running back who's trying to play the quarterback position. if we look back at Justin Fields' quarterback mechanics, we can see that his arms and legs are not in sync. They don't work in unison. He's more inclined to run because he doesn't really trust the accuracy of his passing arm. Instead, he puts the trust in his legs. You know, I always come back to this description of quarterback accuracy. At the high school level, a quarterback must be able to hit the door of a house.
Yeah.
At the collegiate level, the quarterback
has to hit the door.
Consistently be able to hit the door.
The pro level, they got to hit the keyhole.
Okay. Usually they say the doorknob. Okay?
Yeah.
At the NFL level, the quarterback has to be able to consistently put the ball in the keyhole of that same door that's attached to that same house.
Yep.
Because Justin Fields cannot read NFL defenses, coupled with his flawed mechanics and inaccurate arm, he will not be an even average NFL QB.
And you're a Bears fan. Were you bought in, Adolf, were you bought in before the season? Was this your guy? Were you bought in that you finally had a quarterback? You weren't?
No, because I never thought that his arm was accurate. Yeah. Okay?
And that's what we're learning.
I mean, you look, he's been in 29 games. He's only won 6 times.
That's a problem.
Okay?
It's a problem.
You can't discount the statistics. It is what it is. Okay? Quarterbacks who are not accurate, they don't last in the National Football League, particularly if they rely on their legs because they don't trust their arm. I'm out.
It's a great call. And then he's a Bears fan, and he's cranky.
But he's acting like we were all wrong from the get-go, at least giving Justin Fields an opportunity. We gave that same leeway to Josh Allen.
And he became more accurate, although he's still turning the ball over a little bit.
And Justin Fields just hasn't lived up to it. It's not. It's one that, yeah, you see it now, so it's easy to say he's never going to be the guy because he's an athlete at the quarterback position. You were just keeping your fingers crossed that Justin Fields could take the steps that Josh Allen did. Yeah. Josh Allen's not an accurate passer. His numbers were Justin Fields.
But he's making better decisions than he did.
And so you were keeping your fingers crossed that was going to be Justin Fields. And it's not. But you're also looking at these are the other factors involved. Josh Allen is not some everything looks great, be aligned with the arm. It's beautiful passing. But he had Brian Daboll. And what did Brian Daboll go and do? Become a head coach and get Daniel Jones paid. Yeah. Like, that's the other things. Like, Justin Fields, part of it's on him, and he just hasn't developed. But I still believe that the majority of this, let's go 50-50, okay, is also on the Chicago Bears for not having an offensive plan for Justin Fields.
I think that's a big
why were they able to make something out of Lamar Jackson? Lamar Jackson's not the cleanest quarterback.
Well, but they worked
ever.
on him for 3 years. You know, he just said he's played 29 games, and he's right. And you said
he's had 2 different offensive coordinators and 0. Like, they didn't build the offense around him. And I think what you're getting at, what Adolph's getting at, is they didn't tell him to be more than a running back last year. They were just kind of, all right, do your thing, and we'll get by.
And next year we'll fix you. And you
it's
can't.
Too late.
Yeah. Practice doesn't make perfect. Practice makes permanent, right? And when you let a guy continue to do what he's done, and you don't put him, to your point, in a plan, they wasted 2 years. Practice makes permanent, and then all of a sudden you're going to try to fix it. I want you to think of how hard it is to fix your golf swing. You've been doing the same thing. You keep going to the range. You do it the wrong way, and you don't understand. This is what Justin Fields did for a whole 2 years. And then you go get a lesson, and it's like, no, go like this, and it feels so odd, right? I'm supposed to hold my hands like this, and no, I can't do it. That's what they're doing to Justin Fields. Practice doesn't make perfect. It makes permanent, and that's what they've done with him. When we come back, stop talking about trades. I know we're on 3, but damn it, stop talking about trades. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal, your home for Sunday night and Monday night and Thursday night football.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us, and my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number 1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
For 50 years, Clark's Pet Emporium has been your pet's favorite stop.
I am Michael Azera, midfielder for New Mexico United. Clark's support for the United is an example of their commitment to local partnerships. Clark's understands that paying it forward develops a better team and ultimately better community partner.
When you need pet food and supplies,
Clark's is always the best shot.
Locally owned and operated with 2 convenient locations.
Go United!
ClarksPets.com.
I was born in New Mexico. I grew up on these streets. I got in trouble here, and I fought my way back in boot camp. I love
Smooth jazz, KNML. Good morning to you. Opening drive, Jeff Sabieta, JJ Buck. We're going to do the Red Zone coming up here at 8:30 this morning. Looking forward to having a conversation with Nick Nee, the director of golf at the San Diego Golf Club. Stay with us because Ryder Cup was overnight, the first round of the Ryder Cup, and dare I say, a startling beginning on day one for the United States. We'll get with Nick on that. All right, so when is too early to panic? I mean, some of you are going to tell me week 1 I panicked because, you're a Jets fan. Okay, fine. Or you're a Giants fan. Or so if you're the Vikings, you won 13 games last year. You won the division. You went to the playoffs. You were the number 2 seed in the NFC. And now you're 0-3. Is it panic time? And, oh, by the way, you chargered against the Chargers last week. You had one at the end and you let it go. Is it panic time?
Yes.
Okay. Is it trade time? Now, I don't know where this is coming from. And it might be coming from one very loud place, right? The Kirk Cousins trade rumors to the Jets?
The Kirk Cousins trade rumors
Yes.
are 115% coming from the media.
Okay. And I think it's coming from one place, right? And ESPN's got a big brand, and Mike Greenberg is one of their biggest voices, and he's a Jets fan, and so he started yelling, the Jets should get Kirk Cousins. And I'll give him credit for having that reach. But Kirk Cousins rumors have been swirling all around. And the players hear the chatter. That's their quarterback, man. Justin Jefferson's one of the best receivers in the league. He's theirs. And he is over it. Quote, I'm tired of people saying we're looking into next season or all the trades and stuff like that. We're still focused on this season. We have a lot more games to go, and we have a lot more things to accomplish this season. We're still focused in. We still have the same goal as we've had before the season. We just need to fix a few things, and we'll be on track, end quote. So you and I have this conversation. DC asked us the other day, of the 0-3 teams, which teams have the best chance to make the playoffs? And probably none of them will. But the Vikings were our unanimous answer. And because, A, they're not the Broncos, and they're not, right? I mean, it was some of it. I mean, the 0-3 teams are bad. Denver's bad, and Chicago is bad, and Carolina's bad. And you look at Minnesota, you say they shouldn't be that bad, and they're in a division. Well, the Lions are kind of taking control of that division. And
the Lions have a stranglehold on the kneecaps of that division. Yes, they do.
A stranglehold on the kneecaps.
Yes.
I don't think you're doing that right.
Is that wrong?
I don't choke guys out at the kneecaps.
Yeah. Is that what?
Stranglehold on the kneecaps. And then the next step is to bite the kneecap.
Is there like a jugular at the knee that cuts off the blood?
JJ fights dirty.
I was told the other day that the calves are like they're called the second heart of the body because the calves pump all the blood up from, I mean, of course, where else are they going for? I never thought of it. But the calves are the second heart of the body because all the blood coming up the legs have to go through the calves.
I don't know. I've seen some MMA fights that didn't end with a guy wrapped around somebody's calves.
Have you ever seen one, though?
Leg locks? Ankle lock?
Yeah, I don't know. But that's Dan Campbell's thing. I'm going to bite them off at the kneecaps. It's too early, isn't it? Do you believe in the Kirk Cousins rumors?
No. I believe that this is a narrative that has trickled in because from Mike Greenberg to J-Mac on Colin Cowherd,
is that where
who's another national voice who's a Jets fan.
Is he hitting it
that's
too?
Screaming that all the time is go trade for Kirk Cousins, that it's loud enough that now the questions go back to the Minnesota beat reporters. And they're like, oh, are you guys thinking of doing this? You're 0-3. And if I'm Justin Jefferson, of course I'm saying bleep no to this.
Yeah,
because
off.
Justin Jefferson and Kirk Cousins absolutely works. Like Kirk Cousins is going to get Justin Jefferson paid.
That's what
because
I'm saying.
that dude,
no, I was just,
it's like you look up, he's like, oh, another 12 catches, 150 yards.
Justin Jefferson's making his, $90-something million because he's catching balls from that dude. And so he's like, you're damn right. That's my quarterback now. That's my banker right there. He's getting me paid.
You want me to go catch back from Jaron Hall now? No, thank you.
Don't choke him off the kneecaps. It's Jaron Hall and Nick Mullins are the backups there. All right, we're going to go into the red zone coming up here at 8:30 or 8:30-ish and hit some big topics in the National Football League. But it's Friday, and it's about that time where, I don't know, you're getting a scratch an itch for a sweet deal. And so, Mackenzie, I think you're a regular on our show, right? We get Nick Nee, the golf guy, coming up at 9. Mackenzie's in here for a sweet deal. How you living?
Good. How are you?
It's good to see you. Pizza 9 is your sweet deal. And I wrote you a jingle, didn't I?
Yes.
You want me to sing the jingle? I will. Pizza 9's your sweet deal. You can go live on our website, sportsanimalabq.com at 9 o'clock and do it at 9. Set your alarm. Don't whine when Pizza 9 is so fine that it's gone at 9:04. You get $50 worth of Pizza 9 for just $25, and Pizza 9's got so much. Is it October, which starts Monday? is National Pizza Month. This is how big pizza is, right? Everything else gets a day. Oh, it's National Cupcake Day. It's National Lollipop Day. It's Hershey Bar Day. They get a month, dude.
I honestly think it's just a year. Isn't it year round?
No. I mean, you're celebrating National Pizza Month next week?
Yes, yeah, we do have some specials for National Pizza Month.
What are you doing for National Pizza Month?
So we have different specials all month long. But if you join our text club, you can actually get 25% off your online orders.
How do you do that?
Through the 26th. So you just have to text Pizza 9 to 833-350-0881.
That was a lot. Tell me again how to do that. 833
350
350
0881.
0881 and text what?
Pizza 9.
Pizza 9?
Yes.
Easy. And you get 25% off, boys and girls. Go do that. You got something cool going with the Ice Wolves, the hockey club, and you got a coloring contest going on that is a big celebration of Pizza Month.
Yeah, so along with National Pizza Month, it's actually also National Bullying Prevention Month.
That's a lot of months, dude.
Yeah.
And it's Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and there's a lot.
Yeah, there's a lot going on. So you can actually enter our coloring contest. If kids enter our coloring contest, they can pick up a coloring sheet for Pizza 9. They get a free 7-inch pizza just for entering the contest, and a coupon, buy one, get one free to one of the hockey games.
So how do they do this? They just go into any Pizza 9 location?
Yeah, any Albuquerque or Rio Rancho Pizza 9 location will have the coloring sheets. They can pick up one and just return it to us.
Right. You see, I wrote there the jingle, Pizza 9. It's so fine. There's no better place to dine. That's why I make it mine. I always go to Pizza 9. I could work that. I'll work on it for you. I'll make it a little bit
Just
better.
play it back. It's a new spot.
Over and over. That's our new spot. It's our sweet deal today. You don't hate it, do you?
Oh, no, it's great.
I mean, it's great. It's great. Get me the hell out of here and get me down the hall. I want to go to the FMs. They don't make me go through this crud. All right, Pizza 9 is your sweet deal. Go online, sportsaddleabq.com. Click on the sweet deal icon, 9 o'clock, because they're going to be gone by like 9:03. These go really quickly. You get $25, gets you $50 worth of Pizza 9. It's so fine. That is why I make it mine. There's no better place to dine. I'm going to go to Pizza 9. Mackenzie, great to see you. Have a great weekend. And happy National Pizza Month.
Thank you. You too.
And when we go back, we're going into the red zone with Jared on the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal, your home for Sunday night and Monday night and Thursday night football.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
I was born in New Mexico. I grew up on these streets. I got in trouble here, and I fought my way back in boot camp. I love New Mexico, especially the people. Now I'm using my training, tenacity, and energy to fight for you. I'm Adam Oki, lawyer, fighter, and New Mexican. I was a local athlete here in New Mexico, so I'm proud to support your local athletes.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
For 50 years, Clark's Pet Emporium has been your pet's favorite stop.
I am Michael Azera, midfielder for New Mexico United. Clark's support for the United is an example of their commitment to local partnerships. Clark's understands that paying it forward develops a better team and ultimately better community partner.
When you need pet food and supplies,
Clark's is always the best shot.
Locally owned and operated with 2 convenient locations.
Go United!
ClarksPets.com.
Rosendo Najar here, president of Carpenters Local 1319.
Juan Junior Gonzalez, warden of Local 1319. Some people have a misconception about what a carpenter does.
The carpentry trade entails more than just woodworking or building houses. We are responsible for 85% of a construction job site. Everything from the superintendent on down. We have a great apprenticeship program. Information can be found on our website.
These days, it's important to know people and businesses you can trust. There's a lot of places where you can buy a vehicle, but there's only a few local dealerships where you'll find honest people who have your best interests in mind. And Fiesta Kia is one of them. We've been helping our neighbors save money and drive dependable cars for years, and we'd love to help you. With new Kias arriving daily, you'll love our selection and the peace of mind you'll get driving a Kia from Fiesta. So stop by and see us today at Fiesta Kia on Lomas, or just start driving now at fiestakia.com.
But born at just the right time to listen to Two Men On with Van and Fred. Weekdays from 4 till 7 on 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal.
Big weekend coming up. Cowboys get the Patriots. Ezekiel Elliott's going back to AT&T Stadium. Raiders and Chargers. Ravens and Browns were good. And, boy, that early window. You get Dolphins and Bills. It started out yesterday with the Lions beating the Packers in Green Bay. 34-20 was the number on Thursday Night Football. You heard that right here on your home for the National Football League. 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal. If you're listening to the NFL, you're listening to The Sports Animal. Thank you for doing that. Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buck. Jared's in for DC today, and Jared's going to take us blindly this day into the red zone.
How much you want to make a bet I can throw a football over the mountains?
Are you crazy? I'm saying you're a football player.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to Tom Brady this game.
You're in the red zone with Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck.
Let's go, baby!
So, gentlemen, there are
first and goal.
Excuse me.
What are you, new?
First time. Gentlemen, there are 12 different teams starting the season with 12 different quarterbacks leading their teams. Which fan base is most pleased with the change they made in the offseason, and who's the most disappointed?
Wow, that's really good. Most disappointed has got to be the Jets because
that seems, I guess that would be. How about still playing?
All right, the Bears. The Bears are probably if the Jets aren't in that, the Bears would be the most disappointed because they're who they are and what they are, and I mean, you heard Adolph, who's a big Bear fan, and call in and just, I'm done. I mean, they put him in the wrong place. Maybe he's a running back who's just been put in the wrong position. As far as who's the most of the 12, the most excited right now, I'm going to go with Houston because the way CJ Stroud has played, I think they're looking long term. Houston fans probably didn't expect anything this year, and they may not get anything this year. But after 3 games, that young quarterback is setting records for first-year quarterbacks as far as yardage, as far as he looks like a leader, he sounds like a leader. I'm going to guess, as I go through it on the new quarterback, I'm going to go Houston.
There's not a new, quote-unquote, veteran starter or a young guy that I think is super exciting. I think the Packers are okay with Jordan Love.
They were better before yesterday.
Sam Howell had a week, but I think most disappointed, I'm going to go Bryce Young and the Carolina Panthers.
Ooh.
It's 3 games in, but We've seen
because
flashes.
the Bears didn't have a new quarterback, so that answer doesn't count. You actually read the Bears. The Bears. Sorry, I'm totally off the. Yeah, the Bears guy wasn't new. He just feels new.
Because
plays like he's new.
Because the one thing, even just 3 games.
Sorry.
If you're a Panthers fan, you're seeing C.J. Stroud go for over 900 yards. You're seeing the athleticism of Anthony Richardson get people excited. They're 2-1, and you traded up to have the number 1 overall pick. And your dude has already missed the game. And what was the questions? About the size. Is he too small?
Yeah, I guess your answers are pretty good one because mine really wasn't within the realm of this question. No.
I think it's all fair. Actually, let's keep on that same vein here.
Yeah.
2nd and goal.
I'm gonna switch it up. So September MVP talk is nothing new. But the current consensus seems to lean towards Tua Tagovailoa and a surprisingly good Dolphins team. So when is too early to start having a serious MVP conversation?
It's never too early to have an MVP conversation in the NFL. Because the thing about it...
That's why they have preseason odds on it. You
Yeah,
can bet on
you
it
wanna
in
get in
July
early.
in March.
You want to find that dark horse candidate. And this is the type of noise that trickles over because who votes for MVPs? Right? There's writers, there's the association.
Yep.
So that's why it's never too early because you start setting that narrative. You start setting that tone. A prime example, I'm actually going to the NBA. And the mess that happened last year when Kendrick Perkins decided to go blabbing about and making it so much more than basketball. And then the Nikola Jokic, Joel Embiid situation. And that shifted the narrative.
And that's why Jokic did not win again.
And so Jokic can't win again. He's not that good. Well, Jokic went out there and won a championship.
It became
so
cultural
eat
there too.
That
man.
exactly.
Yeah.
Eat that, Kendrick Perkins. But I'm using that to prove the point of it's never too early, especially when you're talking about the biggest MVP conversation with the NFL.
Yeah, it's never too early because they bet on this stuff in April. So now, when is it legitimate? I think would be a different conversation. When do I think it's legitimate to have the conversation? Mid-season. So when they played 8 or 9 games, so in a month from now, although we're talking about it now, oh, Tua's going to be, he's the MVP of the first. Okay, fine. When is it legitimate to start having a conversation? When you got a sample size of 8, 9 games or halfway through the season and things are starting to take form. That's when I think it's a legitimate conversation. When is it too early?
Never too early.
Never. Okay. But because somebody once told me the NFL rules, and we're talking about it all the time.
24/7, yeah.
Right? So it's never too early to have the conversation. Legitimizes for me midway through the season.
Okay.
3rd and goal.
The Buffalo Bills are dominating on the defensive side of the ball. They allow 11.7 points per game, 253 yards per game, 0 rushing touchdowns, and have a 31% conversion rate on 3rd down. On the other hand, Miami Dolphins offense is on a historic pace with 1,651 yards of total offense. That's 1,091 passing, 565 on the ground, and 17 touchdowns. The Dolphins are underdogs on the road in Western New York this weekend. Which unit are we going to be talking about on Monday and why? Buffalo's defense, Miami's offense.
This is really good. Actually, that's a really, really good question. And I've given this so much thought because fantasy football makes you think this way, right? Because I got the Bills defense, and do I dump them? No, honestly, that's why I thought about this so much. We're going to talk about both of them because I think I asked JJ yesterday, what's a fair number, right? An NFL team on an average week scores about 20, a good one's about 24, 25 points. So I gave him 29.5 as an over-under. Do you think Miami scores over-under that? I think they're under that. I think we're going to be talking a little bit about the Bills defense, and they slowed down the Dolphins. It's crazy to me that Buffalo is a 2.5-point favorite because I think the Dolphins are the best team in the AFC. So I think they slow them down a little bit. I think we're going to be talking about the Dolphins offense because they found a way to win, but they're going to score in the 20s.
And that's what I think we're going to be talking about, the Buffalo Bills defense. Now, for Miami, I think their strength of schedule earlier in the season, minus the 70 points dropped on Denver, it's been a little bit tougher. At the Chargers, at the Patriots, good road wins. Now you're at Buffalo. That's something to factor into when we're talking about Miami being in a championship conversations. They're winning on the road early. They're not just a team that needs to be playing in hot Miami to get these victories. But I think what we're going to see is the Buffalo Bills remind people how good they are. It was easy to fall off the wagon when they had that poor performance on Monday Night Football. But Buffalo is right there nipping at the heels.
So keep the defense is what you're telling me?
Yeah, you can't let them go because they're going to be a difference maker.
I would scoop that up in the waiver wire if you drop that in my league.
You would? Yeah. All right. Because I was going to go get the Browns, but they're off next week.
4th and goal.
Did I stutter? Beer me.
Unless you can hold them both. I don't have much space. Actually, speaking of fantasy, the Bears have issues.
Yeah.
Defense is currently ranked almost every category statistically last. They give up a whopping 60% success rate on third down. Russell Wilson has 5 touchdown passes, only 1 interception, 300-plus passing yards in his last 2 games. And I think you have recently acquired, if memory serves, Mr. Wilson, for your fantasy team. So is Russell Wilson a fantasy sleeper this week? Will he be useful for the rest of the season, or is this a one-off?
Russell Wilson is a starter this week. Russell Wilson absolutely against the Chicago
Instead of
Bears.
who? Instead of who?
Well, there's now all of a
I
sudden.
have Tua. Should I sit Tua?
No. You're talking to the guy that, the person who had Aaron Rodgers and is now streaming.
That's me.
Or the person who drafted Justin Fields, which is me, and is now looking at the waiver wire.
So which one of those two you playing?
I'm playing.
Is there
Russell Wilson.
neither?
Right?
Flex option?
Mac Jones?
Isn't Mac Jones is like top 5 in terms of fantasy points.
Yeah, but nobody's got him. He's
every waiver wire.
As is Russell Wilson until this week.
So you're playing him this week. All right. You playing him instead of Geno Smith? That's my deal.
That might be who I started the season with.
Geno?
Yeah. Until it was available, and that was a quick decision.
This is so hard because I don't believe in Russell Wilson at all. But he hasn't been the problem. Like for fantasy, and especially when he's playing from behind, he's putting up numbers. If you look at his numbers, he's getting you numbers. Like he's passing for 300 yards. He's not turned the ball over a bunch. He hasn't been a bad fantasy quarterback. He's not been a good NFL real life quarterback. I'm struggling, honestly, because I did pick him up because I'm in that Aaron Rodgers thing. I got Geno Smith or him, and I listen. I read way too much of that crap on there, and everybody's. I just can't buy it. People are telling me that the Denver defense. I'll play the Denver defense. They gave up 70 freaking points last week, and I know they're playing the Bears. They gave up 70. I can't buy it. We can sit here Monday and you can tell me I'm wrong. I'm leaning Geno over Russ, but I can see a lot of situations where you would play Russ not because of Russ, because the Bears are so bad.
Interesting.
Yeah, that's your red zone.
Here we go. This could decide.
Was there an end on this? I never heard that. Oh, wasn't that 4? There's another one?
That's a touchdown.
Oh, I never heard that part.
Did we just scrap that?
Yeah, I've never heard this part. So there's an end to it?
Again, I'm just trying to make it through, bro.
Get it,
you
man.
tell me.
Me too. All right. So you're on. I don't know, man. I don't know that I can pull the trigger on Russ over Geno. I got to stop reading all the rankings and all the crud and trust my eyes. That's why I'm so bad. All right, stay with us for a little bit. We'll stay with us, all day. But 9:00 this morning, really, really excited to talk to Nick Nee, the director of golf out at San Diego Golf, because the Ryder Cup round 1 is underway while you were sleeping, and
because the United States got pummeled.
Holy smokes! What happened? Is it? You want to talk about starting out 0-3? Is it time to talk trading? What about when you start out 0-4? Is it over? We're going to get there when we return. What Damian Lillard said about leaving the Blazers. Did he really want to stay and they wouldn't have him? It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, your home for Sunday night and Monday night and Thursday night football.
This report.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
I was born in New Mexico. I grew up on these streets. I got in trouble here, and I fought my way back in boot camp. I love New Mexico, especially the people. Now I'm using my training, tenacity, and energy to fight for you. I'm Adam Oki, lawyer, fighter, and New Mexican. I was a local athlete here in New Mexico, so I'm proud to support your local athletes.
Rosendo Najar here, president of Carpenters Local 1319.
Juan Junior Gonzalez, warden of Local 1319. Some people have a misconception about what a carpenter does.
The carpentry trade entails more than just woodworking or building houses. We are responsible for 85% of a construction job site. Everything from the superintendent on down. We have a great apprenticeship program. Information can be found on our website.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're number one in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New Mexico for over 50 years. At Valley Fence, the difference is clear. No fence too big, too small, or difficult. We handle them all at Valley Fence Company.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Sweet Rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Here at Clark's Pets, we understand your pets. We take meticulous time to find out more about them. Dig deep into their world to understand their needs. We do research for knowledge of each pet, so you can trust Clark's Pets to provide you the best products and service for your pets, because we work hard to understand all of their needs. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend.
For 50 years, Clark's Pet Emporium has been your pet's favorite stop.
I am Michael Azera, midfielder for New Mexico United. Clark's support for the United is an example of their commitment to local partnerships. Clark's understands that paying it forward develops a better team and ultimately better community partner.
When you need pet food and supplies,
Clark's is always the best shot.
Locally owned and operated with 2 convenient locations.
Go United!
ClarksPets.com.
We here at Clark's Pet Emporium welcome you to bring in your pets. We know that having your pet with you makes the experience of shopping for them even better. And we welcome you to bring your kids also. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of
extra kick to the Stones Blazer fan. So nothing's going to go over better when a franchise trades one of the most popular players in the history of that franchise. And that franchise is that city. It's the only of the big four, and the Timbers are really big in Major League Soccer in Portland. But the Blazers, when you talk Major League Baseball, NFL, NBA, and NFL, are the only Major League team in Portland, Oregon. They are the Blazers are big in Portland, and there have been some popular players over the years, whether it was Bill Walton or Clyde. Yeah, they've had really great players. Okay, Damian Lillard, certainly in this generation, is the most popular player in the history of that franchise over the last 15, 20 years, right? Inarguable.
Yes.
Good dude, came from Weber State, humble, unbelievable player. So he wanted to be traded, and evidently he wanted to be traded to Miami. It came out now that Damian Lillard, if he couldn't go to Miami, and he was traded to Milwaukee 2 days ago, told Bleacher Report he wanted to stay in Portland and they wouldn't keep him. How's this going to play?
I think Damian Lillard needs to get over himself. His representatives misplayed their hand. They thought they could force to Miami, and Miami could give up pennies on the dollar to get
Tyler
Damian
Hero
Lillard.
for Damian Lillard.
They didn't send him to Siberia. They sent him to the place where you're going to be the Eastern Conference favorites. You're playing with the champion in Giannis.
You're playing with maybe the best player in the league.
Now you have to live in Milwaukee versus Miami.
Or
but you
Milwaukee
can
versus Portland.
chill out in the offseason, go hang out with Jimmy Butler. And the saltiness from Miami as a whole, get over yourself. Just go watch the Miami Dolphins. They're acting like...
Watch the Miami Dolphins.
They're acting like the NBA did this on purpose. Their stories, Damian Lillard, his representation, putting it out there, how Blazers ownership, Blazers management, this is wrong. How could they do this? Because they sent you to a championship contender, just not the one
Team
you
who
went
won
to.
a championship 2 years ago.
Won a championship. Yeah. They have a top 3 player in basketball.
Jimmy
and
Butler,
Giannis.
Jimmy Butler's alleging collusion, right? That there's things that went wrong.
Yeah, look in the mirror.
Okay, yeah, no bleep. All right, so here's the deal. Lillard wanted to go to Portland, and he is telling Chris Haynes at Bleacher Report now that if he didn't go to Portland, he wanted to stay. I'm sorry, he wanted to go to Miami. He wanted to go to Miami.
We all know that.
And if he didn't go to Miami, he wanted to stay in Portland. And the Blazers general manager, Joe Cronin, didn't want to keep Damian Lillard there.
I don't blame him because all he does, if he keeps Damian Lillard, they start the season, they're not winning.
When's he going to get traded?
And then Damian Lillard's going to bring it back up.
That's right.
Or when are you going to send me to Miami?
So,
when are you sending me to Miami?
Haynes wrote on Bleacher Report that Lillard said if a deal couldn't be worked out with the Heat, he'd prefer to rescind his trade request and stay in Portland. The GM's response to Damian Lillard, who's a 7-time All-Star, was that there's no going back on this. And evidently Damian Lillard was shocked. He said it was discouraging to hear that he could not return and said that he didn't want to be somewhere he wasn't wanted and ended the meeting and walked out. Look, to your point, you don't, I don't know. I don't know at what point you get to pick where you want to. There's very few LeBron James, right? LeBron James gets to pick where he wants to go. Not 1, not 3, not 4, not 5, right? He gets to pick. Do you get to hold a franchise hostage no matter who? Like, you're Damian Lillard, you're the most popular guy in the last 2 decades in that franchise, probably in that town. I want out, but I want there, and I don't care what you got to do to get me there. Well, the franchise tries to get you there, and they can't get a fair deal. Joe Cronin's job, the general manager of the Blazers, his job is to make the Blazers as good as they can be. His job isn't to suffice his star player who doesn't want to be there anymore and give him away for, as you say, pennies on the dollar. So here's Tyler Hero and a late pick. What he got? He got a pretty good haul for Dame Lillard. He got a young center. He got a couple of players. He got a guy that he's going to turn for a bunch more. Joe Cronin did about as well as he could.
And everyone's trying to make him out to be the villain in this just because Damian Lillard didn't get sent to Miami. And the rest of the league is seeing this. The rest of the league is seeing this.
What are they saying? That you're trying to take care of yours?
Yes, they are. And for Damian Lillard,
surprises
me. He had a great career in Portland. He was there 11 years.
And
they did have a Western Conference Finals appearance, 2018 and 2019. But they also lost in the first round 5 times.
Joe Cronin's job isn't to take care of Damian Lillard. He took care of him for 11 years.
He didn't send him to the Houston Rockets. They didn't trade him.
And by the way, what if he did? Now
he still did him a solid.
Yeah, he can
because
win a
could
ring.
you have gotten more first-round picks from one of those teams? Absolutely.
Let me ask you this, and I know he wanted to go to Miami, and he wanted to live in Miami, and he wanted to go hang out with Jimmy Butler. Where does Dame Lillard have a better chance to win a championship? Where he is now, playing with Giannis and Middleton and Brook Lopez, right? Or going down to Miami and playing with Jimmy Butler? Where's he got a better chance? I don't think it's arguable. Milwaukee with Dame Lillard is better than Miami with Dame Lillard, as presently constructed. I'm not telling you Miami's bad, that they have no chance.
Well, they were just in the NBA Finals last year.
Yeah, but where he went now to play with Giannis Antetokounmpo and Brook Lopez and Chris Middleton, dude, that is I know some people are telling me Boston's still the best in the East. I don't buy it. Boston's really good, and the addition of the unicorn, it's a big deal. But give me this team now. No, I get it. But you don't always get what you want, man. And you don't get to shake it up and then come crying, well, I didn't get what I wanted, so all right, I'll stay. No, man, you made a mess.
And you signed the contract extension. You wanted all the money, and he got it. He still had 4 years left on his deal.
I'm with you on this. I'm with you on this.
They didn't do him as dirty as people want to make it out to be. Is the stuff behind the scenes? Is there some salt? I'm sure there is in business. And is he upset? Was he misled or was he lied to? Like, you're going to have those feelings. But again, Dame, they didn't trade you to Houston. They didn't send you to the Washington Wizards. They didn't send you to the Charlotte Hornets.
You're going to play with Giannis.
You want to play for a championship? Here you go.
All right, when we come back, oh boy, you woke up and I don't know, maybe you saw the score. What on earth happened in Italy? The Ryder Cup is underway and the United States is buried early. We're going to talk about that and get you a golf tip because, I don't know, it's the best time of year to play golf around here. Nick Nee, the director of golf at Sandia Golf Club, is going to be with us, get you a tip, and tell you what and why happened at the Ryder Cup. And does the United States have a shot? That's next. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM. At AM 610, the Sports Animal, your home for Sunday night and Monday night and Thursday night football.
Olivas going to the corner of the end zone. Nice grab there by Josh Jackson, and that's going to be a touchdown, El Dorado.
Their strong point, their focal point there.
Nelson will keep it himself for some room on the right side. Nelson's on his feet, and he is in. It's a touchdown for Noah Nelson.
Sliding, they slid out of going out there. Linebacker, they're going for the big gutter play. How did he hold on to that, Ethan Olguin? My goodness, a 32-yard bomb. He's going to launch this one long, and it's a little bit short, but what a pull down. Fabian Trujillo. Unbelievable, this man.
Dyer, back to pass. Pressure, gets out of it nicely. On the sideline, got an open man. It's Lambrana. Cheeto made one miss. Cuts back up the middle. Another cut to the right. And he's all the way down at the 10-yard line.
That's Sweet Pete Jr.?
Right?
That's Sweet Pete Jr. right
What a move there by Cheeto Lambrera.
Second and one, give it to Gallus. Once again, he evades one tackle, evades two. Breaking into the open, there's a block, bye-bye. And he breaks the last tackle to get through. Jack Gallus with the touchdown.
happy with his defense so far. Vukovic, and that ball is ripped up. Bernalillo will have this ball at the 1 yard line.
That's the extra yards for Cheeto. Dyer quickly, it's batted into the air, and it is picked off. Rams football as Rio Rancho finally gets the turnover they need as it's tipped into the waiting arms of Vincente Tafoya. Ryan Brown that punched it into the air and allowed Tafoya to come away with it. Let's see if Nelson can make it pay.
Back.
No! Laqueva gets it back on another tip drill. It falls into the waiting arms of the senior Luke Ryder.
Kick is up. It will bounce into the arms of Daniel Garcia, and Garcia explodes through the middle. He dodges Castro, and Garcia will run that one back from about the 17-yard line. Call that one an 83-yard touchdown rush.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
We here at Clark's Pet Emporium welcome you to bring in your pets. We know that having your pet with you makes the experience of shopping for them even better. And we welcome you to bring your kids also. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife. And our daughter.
The best sports show in New Mexico for 5 years running. It's the OD in the AM with 3-time New Mexico Sportscaster of the Year, Jeff Symbieta, and JJ Bach.
I don't know if it's home soil advantage, but the United States is 2-16-2 in their last 20 foursome matches in Europe in the Ryder Cup. While you were sleeping, the Ryder Cup played their first 4 rounds over outside of Rome. And it was a European domination. Europe is up 4-0 Gunished after the first 4 matches in the Ryder Cup. Nightmare. In fact, the United States, JJ, after 64 holes, didn't lead at one point in one match at any point after any hole. That's the domination that it was in the first round of these foursome, which is alternating shots. It's the opening drive, Jeff and JJ. We'll get back to your calls a little bit. I've been really, really looking forward to this conversation. Nick Nee, as I do every week, Nick Nee is the director of golf at the Sandia Golf Club. Did you get up in the middle of the night and watch this? Are you glad you didn't? How you living?
Living well, a little tired. I watched the beginning portion till about 12:30 and then decided to shut it off and get some rest. And I'm glad I did because it would have been a long night watching the steamrolling that Europe's putting on the American team right now.
Great play by the Europeans or bad play by the Americans?
I think a little bit of both. I think the decision that's going to go under the radar was the decision by Captain Luke Donald to start in that alternate shot format. Typically, that's not how you start a Ryder Cup, but they get to choose. And he wanted to put momentum on him early, and he sure did. So I think it's a little bit of both. But, you know, when you're playing in the away game, you're playing on foreign soil, so to speak, you know, momentum's a big deal. And if you give it to him right away, it's going to be hard to right that ship.
Yeah, I look at this and I'm like, how do you fix it, right? 14 points is the magic number. They've already got 4. There's, I think, 24 matches still left. So now it's on you. You've played in these formats, certainly not at that level, but when you're playing team golf and it's at this level, and the Ryder Cup is a worldwide event, and the nation is riding on you, all of a sudden you get tighter. And when you play tight golf, you don't play good golf.
Yeah, absolutely. You're just restricting muscles from operating and firing when they need to. And but that's why these guys are the best in the world. That's why there's a 12 selected to represent their respective teams. You know, I think the recipe for the Americans is there's not one match that gets 4 points. Each match is only worth one. You got to just control your match and try and claw your way back in. Somehow give yourself a chance in the singles on Sunday, because I think once you get to that, if they do have a chance, that's where they're going to have a leg up on the American side, because alternate shot predominantly is not very good for the USA team in Ryder Cups. They excel in four ball or best ball. So you got to find a way to just claw your way back 1 point at a time, maybe half a match and flip it to at least get a half point. Try and get through today, you know, winning the afternoon session out there by maybe 2.5 points, and just claw your way back, and then give yourself a chance on Sunday, because I like their chances in singles.
All right, here's where we are. So the afternoon is 4-ball, and Nick Nee is with us, the director of golf at San Diego Golf Club. So Justin Thomas and George Spieth are 1 up through 15 on Terrell Hatton and Victor Hovland. So you got an opportunity there. Koepka and Scheffler are tied through 14 there against Rahm and Jogard. Max Homa and Clark are 2 up through 13 against Justin Rose and McIntyre. And then Schauffele and Morikawa are 5 up through 11. No, I'm sorry. They're down. Holy smokes. What's with those two? McIlroy and Fitzpatrick are 5 up through 11 on Schauffele and Morikawa. So you're losing that one. So it's at least 5, and you have an opportunity to get the other 3. It looks like if you come out 5.5, 2.5 after this day, do you feel better after being down 4-0?
I think you do. You know, if they can somehow, maybe the Brooks match, you know, kind of flips to the American side and you get out of this 5-3, I think you feel really good. I think you're okay being 5.5, 2.5, because at least you won one session by half point. So,
I think 5-3 is a huge
they're just going to have
advantage.
to take care of their own matches and try and claw their way to a half point or even win it, because you got to get the momentum. You got to somehow steal it in this afternoon going into tomorrow, because if you don't, and they got maybe a 6-2 lead, or even there's potential that they go, you know, up 7 and or to 7 points, and if you do that, it's I don't know that it's impossible.
Good night now.
But it's going to be really hard.
Yeah.
How much does the emotion of the fans, the atmosphere play into it? So we talk about the mental aspect of golf so much. You know, this one's different where it is a rowdy atmosphere, and that's so few and far between in these environments. Can you also get yourself too caught up in embracing that energy?
Absolutely. I think it's a great point. You can get too caught up, and just you got to keep your emotions in check. The round of golf and match play, it is such a grind mentally. You got to continue to stick to your process, stick to your routine, both pre-shot and post-shot routines. Somehow tune out some of the noise. But if you're Europe, you want that noise. You want that home field advantage. You want them to be pumped up. Now, they're very respectful in how they cheer for their team, probably better than the American side, I'd have to say. But you can't get wrapped up in it. You somehow just have to find a way to calm your nerves a little and find a way to kind of tune out some of that so you can continue plugging along in a round of golf just as you would normally do in a major championship, and see if you can maybe hit a shot that puts a little bit more pressure on the European team and quiet the crowd a little bit, because if they're loud, it's not good for the Americans.
Yeah. All right. I played your place on Friday last week. At 2 tournaments out there. It was good to see you and Ben and everybody out there. You guys always do just an insanely great job, and taking the 2 tournaments in, and everything went so smoothly. We're playing. It's the perfect time of year. It's everybody's favorite time to play golf right now. Give us a little golf tip, please, to help our games get better.
Yeah, actually just got one with some nerve putting you're going to do with a partner, and you're going to have 3 positions from 3, 6, and 8 feet. Just a great little game, working on trying to really make some putts. You can work on speed as well, but it's predominantly about making it. What you're going to do is you pick the first position at a hole on the practice putting green, get a ball 3 feet, 6 feet, and 8 feet. If you make it, that's considered 1 under. If you miss it, it is considered just an even par. If you somehow hit it too far by, your opponent can elect for you to putt the second one. If you miss it, it's a bogey.
Nice.
What you're trying to do is really just roll it close and make it. You're going to play it from 6 different positions, so you have 18 different scores. You're going to see who can shoot the most under par, and what it does is it puts a little bit of nerves on the putting green when you really got to make it. and just kind of keep some score and some competitive atmosphere or competitive juices. See if you can putt with nerves with a putter in your hand.
I really like that. All right, what's going on at Sandia Golf Club that people need to know about?
Yeah, I'll tell you the most exciting thing out here at Sandia. We just got blessed with a great piece of equipment that allowed us to get back to our full menu in the grill. So we were limited. We didn't have our personal pizza, didn't have our pretzel, a few other items that we were able to do out of this new equipment that's in the kitchen at the Sandia Clubhouse Grill. Come on by. We're back to full menu. Got the best views out here with the best time of the year. You got balloons in the air in the morning if you need a cup of coffee and a breakfast burrito. You got a great sunset if you need a cocktail and some good wings that Ernie does a great job with. Then the golf course, like you saw, Jeff, has really rebounded in the last month. So check our rates online, sandiagolf.com. Click that red ticket. It's your best deal to get the best rate out here. We'll send you a text with tee times that are available. And again, if you're looking for any holiday parties, the Event Center, our banquets and catering team does a tremendous job from service and the amenities and the room that they put you in. So check us out, come by and see us, and we'll update you on anything else going on.
One of these conversations on Friday with Nick Nee are brought to you by the Sandia Golf Club. He's the director of golf out there. Nick, have a great weekend. Enjoy the golf. It's on live right now. I know it's right sitting in front of you, and you're staring at it with Europe up 4-0. We'll talk to you next week and wrap this thing up.
Yeah, I appreciate you guys as always. Have a great weekend.
Be well. Nick Nee, the director of golf at the Sandia Golf Club. All right, when we come back, I'm going to reset the NFL for you and injury updates as we have them headed into the weekend because there's some big ones and some big games. As you get going, we'll do our 3-for-all, JJ and I, and I've got DC's pick. We'll give you 3 bets to go against us because we're not very good at it. I will do that in the 9:30 half hour as well. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal, your home for Sunday night and Monday night and Thursday night football.
Get qualified for a trip for 2 to Jolly Old London.
They didn't make it.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Rosendo Najar here, president of Carpenters Local 1319.
Juan Junior Gonzalez, warden of Local 1319. Some people have a misconception about what a carpenter does.
The carpentry trade entails more than just woodworking or building houses. We are responsible for 85% of a construction job site. Everything from the superintendent on down. We have a great apprenticeship program. Information can be found on our website.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Here at Clark's Pets, we understand your pets. We take meticulous time to find out more about them. Dig deep into their world to understand their needs. We do research for knowledge of each pet, so you can trust Clark's Pets to provide you the best products and service for your pets, because we work hard to understand all of their needs. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
Hi, I'm Steve Stucker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Here at Clark's Pets, we understand your pets. We take meticulous time to find out more about them. Dig deep into their world to understand their needs. We do research for knowledge of each pet, so you can trust Clark's Pets to provide you the best products and service for your pets, because we work hard to understand all of their needs. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
Game time decision. Zay Jones, the wide receiver. Game time decision. You'll be watching him. Bryce Young, quarterback, Panthers. JJ, it's trending towards playing is what we're seeing?
Yes.
Anthony Richardson, Colts, trending towards playing is what I'm seeing, correct? They play the Rams?
They do.
And you're seeing a lot of play him, right? As far as go ahead and
get him back into your lineup if you have him.
Him or Russell Wilson? Who you playing, him or Russell Wilson?
I'm on Russell Wilson.
Why are you so on Russ this week? I see it and I'm struggling eating it. Tell me why.
Because the Bears are bad.
Yeah, I got that part.
Russell Wilson has averaged 15 or more fantasy points per game. And if you're asking the question when you're down to Russell Wilson or Justin Fields or this, I think you get a solid game out of him. Okay. I don't think he's going to fall in his face against the Bears. And this is the challenge of fantasy football. And I have this conversation with my friends a lot, is you need to separate your real life feelings from fantasy football, because those things don't go hand in hand. Because so many people miss on good players because they play on bad football teams. Well, that's not how fantasy football works.
Well, bad football teams tend to play from behind and end up throwing a lot and scoring a lot late.
I would never.
Garbage points are great.
I would never draft anyone from the Arizona Cardinals this year. Joshua Dobbs is their quarterback.
James Conner's like the third leading rusher in the league. Yeah.
Zach Ertz, if he had to go there, you get your PPR points. So it's the real life, what you see versus how do you get fantasy points out of these people.
All right, let's go 505-246-0610. Lobos will be in Laramie over on News Radio KKOB tomorrow. They open up Mountain West Conference play. Robert Portnoy and Don Trell will have the call from War Memorial Stadium. 2 o'clock tip-off. And, oh, my goodness, he just dropped one from the drink. The Europeans are going nuts. Sorry. A big shot. Who was that? Terrell Hatton? All right, Snake, good morning. You want to talk Lobo stuff. What's up?
Hey, good morning, boys.
What's up? What's
the
up?
Vikings are tanking right now. They're going to go 0-17 to get Caleb Williams. Don't you know that by now after that Chargers debacle?
I don't know. I think they tried to win that game. You think they lost that on purpose and Kirk Cousins threw that in?
Number 2, man, the Global Football Office 2 days ago, and me and Danny Gonzalez won. The rest of the bowl to be the Aggies versus the Lobos in the Piss Bowl. How about that? Make it happen, Jeff.
All right, see you, man. Yeah, all right. That's terrific. The Vikings are tanking, and so they can get a quarterback. And so the current quarterback decided to blow it at the end of the game and throw an interception so somebody can come in and take his job. Is that what I just heard? That's what I was just told?
It's all scripted. You know that with the NFL.
The Vikings are tanking because they want a quarterback. So they got their current quarterback throwing interceptions and looking horrible at the end so they could take it away. All right, I got it. We haven't done a lot of this today. Lobos at Wyoming. You were in Amherst. You saw the Lobos last week. Lobo defense, to me, this is a game where, okay, I'm not super worried about the backside. I think Wyoming takes their shots. Wyoming threw for 31 yards last week. I'm not worried about Andrew Peasley, although I do believe he's going to take his shots. I mean, if I'm them, I'm looking, all right, let me find number 2 and number 9, and let me throw at those guys. Lobos need to score how many points to win this game?
24.
So I was thinking 27. Okay, so we're in the same boat, right? Can they score 27 points against that offense or that defense? Appalachian State scored 19. Texas Tech put up with 35 in the loss.
That was the double overtime game.
That was double overtime. So it's a good. This is such a typical Wyoming team, isn't it? They will run the ball down your throat. They've got another good running back who put up 151 yards last week. They are tough and stout defensively, especially up front. They grind you. I mean, this feels like a typical, really good Wyoming team, doesn't it? They're 3-1. They were 10-10 with Texas going in the fourth quarter down in Austin. They beat Texas Tech. Are they the third best team in the league? If you tell me Fresno State and Air Force are the two best, I know everybody wants to love Boise State. Is Wyoming better than Boise State?
I think it's close because if we focus on, if you're saying overall, I put Wyoming against Boise State, but if you're saying, hey, kind of projecting forward in Mountain West play, I'd still give the edge to Boise State in Mountain West conference games. And if you're not worried about the secondary because Wyoming doesn't throw it a lot, you should be worried. You should be worried about that secondary in every game. You should be worried about that secondary if they were playing Air Force.
Because they're going to take their shots.
You had a true freshman quarterback that I wasn't even prepared for. It wasn't on my flip card for
From
UMass.
Yeah, for
that
UMass.
came in after Carlos Davis got hurt and went 5 for 5. And one of them was a crazy.
The last one was
okay, but then he came right back and hit a 2-point conversion.
But the guy who got beat on that, I don't want to call it a Hail Mary, the big play, was Christian Ellis, who you consider to be one of your better DBs, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you're not even talking about the guys that you're worried about. Christian Ellis is the guy who you consider him to be one of your better.
Ahmad Haston, true freshman quarterback, comes in 5 for 5, 102 yards and a touchdown.
And damn near beat you.
I'm always concerned about that secondary.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I think you should. Can they run the ball against this front? I like. I don't know if I love it as much as Danny does, but I really like the Lobo running back room. I think they're 4 deep, and that doesn't even include Christian Washington, who we were told early in the season might be their best running back. Right? Bill is good. Sherrod is good. Who am I forgetting? Lewis,
Sherrod White,
Dorian Lewis, and then Henry.
and Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt are your 1-2. Dorian's going to get some looks. They want to lean on Krosky-Merritt, but you could still see he was a little banged up
last
from
week, yeah.
the New Mexico State game.
Yeah.
And that's why Sherrod White ended up getting the most carries in that game, even though Krosky-Merritt scored 2 touchdowns. Yeah. So you
Including the
hope
winner.
that you can get solid run game. To me, it's early offense. It's a game where if you're able to prevent Wyoming from going off early, the Lobos have to be successful. This is a team that the offense has to lead the way. They have to find a way to somehow be in the first half and go, man, we scored 2 touchdowns on Wyoming, because in the second half, it's going to be a lot of survival. It's going to be a lot of, can we hold them to a field goal? Can we make one play defensively? Because Wyoming is going to get their yards.
So can I tell you, I look at this, and for whatever reason, New Mexico plays Wyoming really well, right? Now, there have been the games you're going to point out a big score, and you're right. This will not stun me. I don't know that I can sit here and say I think Lobos go in and beat them, but I will not be stunned if they get out of Laramie and they won tomorrow. Would you?
Stunned. I think this is the game where Wyoming flips the script, because I just don't like how it sets up for the Lobos.
You don't? Okay. Because I look at Fresno State, I think that's going to be tough to go there.
I know Danny talked about it this week.
Yeah.
About, it was just 7 plays. Yeah, but those 7 plays matter.
Seven's a chunk, dude. That's not 1 or 2. 7 plays is a chunk.
Like, you look down, UMass had 495 yards of total offense.
Yeah, 7 plays is a lot.
Now, the Lobo defense It was timely plays. Getting off the field in the first half, holding them to field goals in the second half. So they took steps forward there. And that's how they're going to have to win this game. It's can they get some early offense where they give themselves that little bit of margin for error and then put some pressure on Wyoming. And I just think that Wyoming is just so solid on both sides of the football.
All right, when we come back, betting is really hard. It's legal, it's advertised, it's popular, and it's really hard. And we're not good at it. But we do a 3-for-all every week. I got DC's pick. I got mine. We get JJ's. And then, I don't know, if you want to make some money, go against us and go make some money because that's kind of the way this thing works. We do this exercise simply to show you how damn hard it is, 3-for-all, when we come back in the NFL on the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal, your home for Sunday night and Monday night and Thursday night football.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Rosendo Najar here, president of Carpenters Local 1319.
Juan Junior Gonzalez, warden of Local 1319. Some people have a misconception about what a carpenter does.
The carpentry trade entails more than just woodworking or building houses. We are responsible for 85% of a construction job site. Everything from the superintendent on down. We have a great apprenticeship program. Information can be found on our website.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Here at Clark's Pets, we understand your pets. We take meticulous time to find out more about them. Dig deep into their world to understand their needs. We do research for knowledge of each pet, so you can trust Clark's Pets to provide you the best products and service for your pets, because we work hard to understand all of their needs. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
Hi, I'm Steve Stunker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
As we're speaking, the Ryder Cup, U.S. is down 4-0 after the morning rounds. They've got 4 matches out right now. U.S. is leading 1. They will lose 1, and 2 of them are tied with 2 or 3 holes to go. So they're projected to end the day down 6-2, but they're down 4-0 right now. I'll update you. They might be over by the time we get them off the air. Jeff JJ Jerison for DC today. So we do something right about now on Fridays we call 3-for-all, and the point isn't to say, hey, you should pick these games. It's really to show you how hard gambling is, how hard sports betting is. And we started it when the NFL started, and just say, hey, take a look and don't pick every game. Pick your 3 favorites. Like if you were going to go pick 3 games, what would your 3 be? And we come into week 3. JJ is 3-6. I'm 6-3. I'm sorry, we come into week 4. And DC got a bonus loss. He's 1 win and 9 losses against the spread. That's how hard this is. So let's pick it just and go against us if you want to make money, because we're not very good at it. Go ahead and start. You got what do you got your worst bet to start?
Worst bet
that's what I mean.
Of the weekend: Baltimore plus 2.5 at Cleveland.
Okay, it's funny how you like that, and one of them is going to go the other way. I'll take the Rams, pick them over the Colts. I think the Rams at home, even, pick them over the Colts. And DC took the Jaguars -3 over Atlanta.
In London.
Okay, my second one, I'll go Sunday night, and I'll lay the big number. I like the Chiefs laying 8.5 over the Jets. I just don't see how the Jets are going to score on them, and the Chiefs are going to score points. 8.5. It's a big number. I'll take the Chiefs in 8.5 over the Jets. DC's second one is the Panthers. He's taking Carolina +4. He's getting 4 points, and they're playing Minnesota, who's desperate. What's your second one?
It was Kansas City -8.5.
Yeah, it just right feels like they're going to score a bunch of points. All right, and then his third one, he's going the other side of the game that you're on. He's taking the Browns -2.5 over the Ravens. What's your third one?
My third one, New England +6.5.
Okay, I went there and I crossed it out. I like it at Dallas.
Yeah, close game.
New England's getting 6.5. I'm going over on the Chargers in Vegas. The number's 49. I'll take the over on the Chargers and Raiders. The Chargers score points, and they give up points. And
Even if it's an Aiden O'Connell game,
it's fine. Yeah, I'm okay with that. I think they score points, so I went over on the Raiders and Chargers. So we'll tell you how bad we are come Monday because we're not very good at this.
I'm surprised nobody took Eagles -9 over Commanders at home.
It's a big number.
That's a huge number.
Yeah.
And the Commanders, I'm not saying they're great, but they've not looked terrible.
So you like Washington getting the points?
I think that's going to be at least listen, when Washington was awful, those were close games.
If I played that game, I would take the points too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That one felt like a layup. 9 felt like a really big number.
Yeah, if I played that game, now, they looked horrible last week, did Washington at Buffalo. They got sacked 9 times, intercepted 4 times, gave up a defensive touchdown. Like Buffalo ate their breakfast, lunch, and supper. And now they're playing another pretty good defense. And I think the number's so thick because Sam Howell looked like a guy making his first starts. But if I'm playing that game, which I'm not, I would go with you. I would take the 8.5 points. It's a thick number. Normally, Jared, when you look at the NFL, now this year there have been some blowouts, right? 70 to did you know Dolphins scored 70 last week?
No, you guys should have talked about that. That feels
I feel like we missed one too. 70.
That probably happens every season, right?
I mean, yeah, every century. Yeah. Is that what you said? You didn't say that?
Every 50 years.
You didn't say every half century?
Were they throwing the football forward in 1966?
Underhand.
The last time
it's all lateral.
Underhand.
The last time we saw 70.
I don't know. Patrick Mahomes made quite a career out of throwing it underhand.
Hey, how do you guys feel? If you were on that team, we haven't really got into this. So they didn't score 73, right? 72 is the all-time record. And I think they were alerted that 73 would be if they kicked a field goal. And I heard the players on the Dolphins said, no, let's just take a knee. And they stopped playing with 8 minutes to go. I mean, heck, they could have scored 84, 91, they could have done whatever they wanted. Do you think it's more insulting to the Broncos to keep playing and kick that field goal and score and break the record, or to say, you know what, we didn't break, we stopped playing, we took a knee? It's like what's the worst of the worst? But I mean, is it to eat it as the Broncos? Is it worse to give up the biggest number ever, or they quit playing so they didn't break the record?
But weren't we literally just a week ago talking about? Now I'm blanking on who kicked it. Was it Sean McVay?
Yeah, that was like the cover spread.
Right. No, but if they do kick the field goal, somebody's mad. If they don't kick the field goal,
100%.
somebody's mad. Like,
Yeah,
what,
no, that was to make a 10-point game a 7-point game and cover.
and
the
he said he
spread.
lost track of the clock, and I don't believe that everybody's sitting there.
That's bull junk. He lost time of the clock. The coach knows everything. Especially that coach.
Well, hold on. What about all the people that made money? What about the millions
Right,
of
nobody
dollars?
talks about the-
yes,
the Rams
there's
fan.
somebody right now who
Right.
bet against the spread and was saved.
Yes.
They saved hundreds of
Yes,
dollars.
I
Everybody's
love
only
Sean McVay.
It's all the people that got screwed
That's
that
right.
think it's against them.
I love Sean McVay. He covered the spread with a meaningless bull junk field goal.
Right, but it's the Dolphins' fault for not kicking the field goal.
Well, so what's more insulting though to the Broncos? Like
being there, being a part of that.
Yeah, at that point, you've already lost everything.
But now you're not in the record
70.
books. You're not in the record books as the biggest, giving up the biggest number ever. You give up like the second biggest, which who finished second? Nobody remembers, right? And whatever that was back in 1930, whatever, where they scored 72 points. It almost feels like it was almost a bigger insult. Like, I feel bad for you and I stopped playing football.
10-run rule.
Seriously. Right? I don't know. I've looked at it and I'm like, because as I was watching it, I'm like, jam it down their necks. Score again. Score again. Score again. Score again. Boy, the Americans cannot make a putt, by the way, and the Europeans just keep chipping in for the fringe.
Maybe the Americans should listen to Nick Nee and do that putting drill
Seriously.
under some pressure.
Seriously. So where we are right now, the Americans, although they're up in 2 matches, down in 1 and tied in 1. So if they hold on this way, it would end up 5.5 to 2.5. Is that right? 5, 6, 7. Yeah, that's right. I think they'd feel pretty good about it after being down 4-0. Yeah, Jared, I don't know. There's part of me that says I wish Miami would have scored, and I mean, how often are you going to get to break that record, right? That's a record like, I don't know. If I told you last Friday, the NFL record for points scored in a game is 72. Will that ever be broken? It's like Joe DiMaggio's 56-game hitting streak, or
If you told me years ago that I'd see any NFL team go undefeated in the regular season, let alone almost go undefeated in an entire season, I would say I will never live to see.
And we still have it since the
yeah,
Dolphins.
regular
right?
season we have.
Well, we did in regular season. The Patriots went regular season, but we just didn't go all the way through. So 72, man. Nobody's going to put up 72.
I don't know. Isn't the college record like 218?
It's something stupid.
Like,
And
a Colgate versus something.
Before I got here, Fresno State beat the Lobos 94-17.
Oh.
94.
How do you continue that season?
94.
Don't you just cancel the program and move on?
Well, when Loxley was here, first game of the season, Oregon beat them 72-0. It was, 56 at halftime, JJ? Do you remember that game? 72-0. They could have scored 120 on them that day. I mean, they quit playing. They brought in third string. They brought in my nephew who's there now, but at the time was 8. They brought him, like literally, it was one of those. And that's what I felt like I was watching with the Bronco game. It's like watching Alabama play Mississippi Valley State, right? That's what I felt like watching this game. But
did you stick through that game?
Just because it was on the red zone. Which game? The Oregon game or the?
No, I'm sorry, the Miami game.
Well, I was watching the red zone, so.
Yeah, okay, so you were just getting... Well, so you essentially watched that game. I'm sure it was up on Red Zone at least half the time.
Oh, so they stopped going...
like they were always down there.
Was that the early window?
I'm just saying, what period... Like, if I would love to see the amount of minutes...
But they were never in the red
Miami
zone.
Because they were always in the midfield.
They
and
were
just
hitting the
punching it
long ones. They were hitting the 40-yarders.
That's the beauty of the red zone. They show you.
They show you every
replay.
highlight. Yeah.
They should have just split-screened it.
Seriously, but they were never in the red zone because they were running up and down the field.
I mean, what's the math on that? 70 points that's a score every. Is it?
They scored 10 touchdowns.
I'm saying, is that every? Math's not my strong suit. Is every 6 minutes?
There's 15.
They were
30.
scoring every 6 minutes.
Well, there's 60 minutes in a game, and they scored 72 points. So that's more than a point a minute.
That's a point a minute. That's
more than a point a minute.
Yeah, but that's like that is red zone, right? Like they're literally down there, punch.
It's just insane. And what they have 726 yards of offense.
Yeah, and I had
I've never
Tua
seen
playing,
that.
and he only got me 28. I'm like, I
Sorry,
can't
dude.
even go off when I go off.
You should have had AJ.
Only 28?
You only had 28.
I'm always playing against somebody that ends up with 36 on Mahomes, and I can't ever seem to.
Yeah, like the dude Montgomery last night that I'm up against in two leagues. See?
He's on the bench in one of my leagues against me, and I've never been happier.
Yeah, that's a good break. That's a really good break. Oh, look, Jordan Spieth's in the water again. They are just getting pumped. All right, 505-246-0610. I still have opportunity for you to get in if you'd like to before we're done. That's the Sports Animal phone line and the text line. I just got a text that said betting is super hard, but it sure is fun. Yeah, it's fun when you win, dude. I don't know how fun betting is when you lose money. Like losing sucks, period, and betting and winning is fun. But I don't know how much fun betting is when you lose. You know what I mean? Dig what you dig.
Here's a fun fact for you.
Tell me.
September 29, 2002, Sean Alexander scores 5 touchdowns in the first half.
For the Seahawks.
For the Seattle Seahawks.
Wow. 5 in the first half.
We're talking about
I never have those guys
numbers
on my roster. Those guys are never on my roster. You know what I mean?
I every single player for me is red in terms of what they predicted.
Yeah.
It's always like Ace guy's going to get 12. He'll get 11.
Yeah. That's right. They're always
every
on the
time.
other guy's roster.
I never have anybody go off.
All right, everything you need to know as you go into your weekend, what people are going to be talking about, and I'll update you on the Ryder Cup as we're coming right down the stretch in Rome and wrapping up the session number 2. Americans were down 4-0 after session 1. Will it get any better? I'll get you right up to the second updates and everything you need to know that people are going to be talking about. And maybe, Ho, it's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, The Sports Animal. You're home for Sunday night and Monday night and Thursday night football.
Here at Clark's Pets, we understand your pets.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Hi, I'm Steve Stunker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. ProView Networks would like to thank the following.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
right, dude. Thank you for the hoe, by the way. Now it feels like Friday. Victor Hovland just hit this birdie putt on 18. They were tied. Justin Thomas almost chipped in for Eagle to win the match in a tied match. Hovland then just hit this, what was it, about 25 feet, would you say?
Yeah.
Putt. And now all the pressure is on JT. He's got about 5 feet, maybe 4, to tie a crucial match in 4-ball on the 18th hole. Americans lost the first 4 matches this morning. It came out 4-0. They're up 2, down 1, and this is Justin Thomas to salvage their first half point in the Ryder Cup. It's like 2 feet, isn't it? But the biggest pressure 2-foot putt JT's probably ever had, and he hits it. Just dropped it in on the left side. Spieth comes over and goes, whoo, and the Americans actually are on the board. They have a half a point. Do you see that? The emotion's bonkers, dude. That was like I don't know. I'm over here rooting like it's a football game, Jared.
For a half a point.
They're on the board, man. They're on the board. We're not getting shut out. It's crazy stuff. All right, 505-246-0610. We are here if you want to get in still. Everything you need to know as you go through your weekend and what people are going to be talking about. They're going to be talking about the Ryder Cup today. Certainly after that first session where the Europeans won 4 out of the 4 matches, the Americans are now on the board with a half point, leading 2 of the 3 left. They're going to lose the one. So it's going to be at least 5.5 to 1.5. And then if the Americans can get those other 2, they get out 5.5 to 2.5. You're going into the weekend with baseball wrapping up the regular season. How about the Marlins? We haven't talked anything about this. The rain, the soggy fields, the suspensions. You're going to have, by the time we get back on Monday, your playoffs are going to be set. And you've got wild cards in both leagues coming right down to this weekend. So as you're watching your footy and as you're watching the Ryder Cup, the wild card stuff is going to be fascinating. You've got the Astros 1 game up on the Mariners for the final wild card spot in the American League. And in the National League, the Marlins are a half game up on the Cubs for the final wild card spot in the National League. Cubs have faded hard. Is it going to be Astros or Mariners when we get back?
Astros.
I agree. And the Cubs have faded. It's going to be Marlins, you think, instead of the Cubs?
They got to finish that game from last night.
Suspended game.
Because I don't know if they're going to be able to do that as New York's under feet of water at this moment in time.
Yep.
But they have to finish that game, and we might not even know that answer until Monday.
Are you more excited to see it? Because I know I'm excited to see Arizona. Arizona or Miami? And Miami might be a more exciting team, but what Arizona did this year out of nowhere to get into the postseason, if they're like your postseason teams are going to be, the Dodgers and the Braves and the Brewers and the Phillies and the Diamondbacks and the Marlins. And I think everybody expects the Braves and the Dodgers and probably the Brewers. Spring training, like I don't know if anybody can name, even in this region, can name 3 Diamondbacks.
Ooh, what a game. Name 3 Diamondbacks. Name 3 Diamondbacks.
But you know what I'm saying? I'm not wrong, and they're really good. But by next week,
baseball
people
always has one team like that.
They
because
do.
of the wild card.
Well, would you say the Orioles are more that? The Orioles are the number 1 seed in the American League. The Orioles are going into this as the best seed in the American League.
Whether it's a wild card, we usually don't see it in a division winner like the Orioles. Their season has been unbelievable.
In a division with the Yankees.
It's the Yankees.
Rays.
It's the Red Sox.
Yeah. Tampa, dude.
It's Tampa Bay Rays that always they know how to win regardless of money.
Historical start. Remember where they were going to
Toronto's been
lose?
spending a ton of money the last few seasons.
Yeah.
And it's the Baltimore Orioles.
It's funny watching Stigler strut around here, isn't it?
Well, he always struts around.
100 wins so far.
Right.
100.
Right. And it's funny. He says to me, I think it was 2 weeks ago, he says, I don't have enough TVs. And he wasn't even worried about the NFL. He's got James Madison's playing, whoever his alma mater's playing, and the Orioles are on, and the Lobos are on. It's like, I don't know. What do I do? I'm like, dude, the Orioles play every night.
Stop watching the Orioles, by the way. They're done. They're good.
I said they're on every night. Nope. He's like, and that's what I love about this. Love what you love, right? Watch what you watch. If you need to get another screen, find yourself another screen. They're cheap. Go to Costco, right? But or JJ YouTube TV, you can watch 4 at one time.
Oh yeah,
4 at one time. Are you a YouTube TV guy or?
I don't. It bothers me.
What does?
I don't like not being able to flip real fast
That's where
somewhere and come
100%
back.
me.
And I'm not going to get another TV. Luckily, the Amazon game, I never noticed it before because there's no other thing on the Amazon game, right?
Right.
I still can't flip during halftime and go do something else and watch a Family Guy for 15 minutes. But that's not that big a deal. But the YouTube TV thing, it just.
So the Thursday night game, as much as I can cast it, I always watch it on a computer. I had a college game on last night. I was flipping through the college games because that's kind of my thing. But I place the computer in front of me, and I always watch the Thursday night game on a computer. I don't know why I just refuse to flip it up there and cast it. But I know
taking
why.
a stand.
No, it's 100%. No, it's your point. I know why.
Yeah.
Because I can't then just flip back over during the break to the college game and catch the score.
And the only thing that's different for me is when I put football on a small screen, it doesn't feel right. There's something like I watch lots of TV on laptops and movies. It doesn't feel weird to me. There is something about my TV on the wall having football that feels like football.
So I feel that way on my phone, football on my phone, and I love that I can do it. And I love that if I'm
at a bar and it's not the game they have on, that's
right.
different. That's
or I go to a restaurant, they don't have the game, and I put it up while I just did that the other night. I think it was last Thursday night for the Thursday night
You
game.
seem like a delightful date there.
Well, whatever. She was watching too. Fish and chips and the game and a beer. I mean, she was kind of into it.
All right.
You know, I mean, it is what it is. I am who I am. Like, I mean, you know what you're getting
No
into when you're
surprises
hanging
at
out
this
with me.
point in time.
It's only been 14 years. If you haven't figured it out by now, like, I don't know where you've been. I'm with you. I don't mind the computer for the Thursday night game, and I've watched Mountain West games on the computer, and typically on Saturday, I'm flipping back and forth, but I've got a game, one game. The Aggies tend to be that way, or when the Lobos are on the Mountain West network, I'll do that. I just for the Thursday night game, it's weird for me. I don't know. It is what it is. And are you guys over Al Michaels yet? Because I'm not. I heard somebody on the DA show as I was driving this morning, and his name is now 80-year-old Al Michaels, which just bothered me so much because I don't think he's lost a lot off his fastball calling a game. I really don't. Do you?
No.
He's still really good. And the context was, and next Thursday night we get the Bears and Panthers or something along those lines. And so he said, it's the Commanders. He says next Thursday we'll be in our nation's capital for the Commanders and the Bears. And he didn't, say Justin Fields versus Sam. And then there was and they're like, the excitement in 80-year-old Al Michaels' voice. I'm like, what do you want
The reaction
him to
everyone
say?
has for that game.
Yeah, you had the same damn feeling.
Yeah.
What did you want him to say? Well, we're going to get to see Sam Howell go up against that defense that,
Did you hear?
I'm watching on my phone next week. The hell with the computer. I'm going small.
Luke Getsy say something special is happening in Chicago.
Something
Tune in
special.
next Thursday Night Football on Amazon
Look at
Prime.
you. See, there's 30-something.
But right here on
JJ
the
Buck.
Sports Animal, Westwood One, your coverage, the National Football League.
At least Al Michaels the only one not pretending like all these Thursday
Man.
games are slaying out there.
He's still really good, man. And for what he's done, I want you to think back. So the Miracle on Ice was 43 years ago, 1980, right? 43 years ago is when Al Michaels came into the public's consciousness. He called a hockey game, and I think it was like the third hockey game he's ever called in his life. And he had one of the greatest calls ever in the history of broadcasting. Do you believe in miracles? Yes, right? And he became Al Michaels. And Al Michaels has been as good and as versatilely good. Like, he's really good at whatever he calls for 43 plus years.
I'm hearing a lot of give me back my MTV and Rabbit Ears from you in that segment.
Really? I mean, a little music on MTV wouldn't kill anyone, would it? I'm just saying.
Kids these days, they're two-seater cars.
YouTube TV. What is this nonsense?
No, I like it. Audra's got YouTube TV. I like it as well. That's what Jared said, though. He's not going there because get off Jared's lawn.
Yes.
For crying out loud.
You just hit the down button. It's everything you just watched.
Hey, man,
Right
thanks
there.
for filling in this morning. Thanks for getting up early.
Happy to be here.
Oh, happy to have you here. Adrian, great week. Look good on the visual side. Jim Rome Show is next. The Herd with Colin Cowards after that. 2 Men On comes your way at 4. We're back with award-winning radio Monday at 7 a.m. Thank you to Nick Nee for being with us. Ryder Cup's coming right down to it. You got 2 matches tied, 2 matches done. Enjoy the weekend. Be good to each other. Oh, big weekend for you, huh?
Huge.
Enjoy it. Be good to each other, please. Be kind, loving, caring, and sharing. We'll smell you on Monday.
Money to the IRS. The IRS has restarted aggressive enforcement actions against
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Hi, I'm Steve Stunker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit hanswhitlerauto.com.
Your surprisingly great rates? Contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Here at Clark's Pets, we understand your pets. We take meticulous time to find out more about them. Dig deep into their world to understand their needs. We do research for knowledge of each pet, so you can trust Clark's Pets to provide you the best products and service for your pets.